Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Yes, it is Sunday. I know that. Why? Because there's football on. A lot's going on in the comic world. So hopefully everybody's got their Coronas, everybody's got their popcorn, everybody is ready. If you don't know what this show is, it's New Comic Book Day, it's comic news, it's comic spec. I got some fun panelists, some fun guests. So this one's going to be a really good one. But then again, I say they're all good because they usually are. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, guys, if you haven't already, please make sure you guys go check out that 1,500 sub giveaway. Make sure you guys go follow everybody in the chat, sub everybody up, support everybody. And yeah, let's get to it. I'm going to bring in my panelists. The first one is I call him Mr. Information. It is Mr. FaceTime. What's going on, man?
What's going on, bro?
How you doing, brother? Good weekend or what?
Yeah, I can't complain too much. How was yours?
Man, I'm still finishing that reno up in the basement and just talking comics. So
is this how we gonna stall for time? Is this how we gonna stall for time every time that Hyper's coming in a little bit late?
No, that's the thing too. Like, I wanted the chat to know Hyper is again late. So we're gonna get to him in a few minutes.
But we had to throw it out there, of course.
Yeah, you guys know he works on a different.
Inevitably, he's gonna be late.
But yeah, for those of you who are tuning in, like I said, we're going to start off New Comic Book Day stuff. It's not a crazy week, so we'll probably get through that fairly quick. Then we're going to go into our comic news. And then, as we always do when the fun starts, it's comic spec time. I think it's been a fair amount of, comic news happening. A lot of things to spec on, but
yeah, there's been a couple of things that have finally happened in comics, it sounds like.
Yeah. And then and I don't want to spoil it for anybody, so in the chat, if you haven't seen WandaVision, we will probably touch on that a little bit in the comic news side of things. I don't think
we're gonna do our best to avoid major spoilers though, for like anything significant actually happening, which we'll try and avoid that as best we can.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil it for anybody. So, just keep in mind, a lot of people have and stuff. So when we do get to that subject, we'll give you a few seconds to kind of just go somewhere else or put us on mute. Or if you want to stay tuned, that's all good. All right. I think it's time. Hyper can join whenever he wants. I was pretty pumped today. I was on East versus West. East meets West. Just before this, so if you haven't checked that out, make sure you guys
butcher whatever the name of that was.
I told them I might. Go check out Joker. Mel V was on there. Erod, Doom. So make sure you guys go check them out. Go check out the rewind and everything like that. All right. So let's get started. New Comic Book Day. I'm excited. It's been comics in my house for about talking comics for the last like 4 or 5 hours. We're probably going to get to 2-3 here. So yeah, let's get to it. We're going to start off with Image Comics, and right off the bat, I mean, this is
Did you hit the filter?
Pardon me?
Oh, did you hit the filter for just the comic?
No. Yeah, I did. I had it all set.
Right.
This is one of those right off the bat that is, I think it's slept on. I know a lot of people are collecting it. A lot of people think it is something special. I think personally a lot of people are sleeping on it, but we're kicking it off with Philadelphia. So we got Philadelphia 12. There is 3 covers. Man, to be honest, I love cover A and cover B. Cover B obviously being the Canadian Todd McFarlane, but even this cover A is fucking dope, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising that you're into that. It's the black cover.
Yeah.
And Philadelphia has been a pretty good series, so it's worth picking up for sure.
But I think a lot of people are sleeping on it. Maybe sleeping on is the wrong word, but I just think a lot of people don't give it its due as the series has gone on, which is a shame. I think everybody's still on, Something's Killing the Children, Department of Truth, things like that. But this one definitely sleep on.
There's a few of series like this. Philadelphia, Bitter Root's another one that's kind of, it's in the same vein as those other horror series that are overshadowing them a little bit, but they're every bit as good for sure.
Did you start collecting it right off issue number 1 or no? I think you said yes, right?
Yeah, we have the first issue somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
I mean, it's one of the boxes somewhere.
Yeah, Mel V was talking to me about this one. He was saying that this one is pretty dope. To me, it's cover A, and I sometimes don't say that a lot, but that cover A.
Yeah, I actually see A
dope.
cover more.
Yeah. So Philadelphia, that should be probably on everybody's pull list. If not, we've got Rain Like Hammers #1. I gotta be honest, I don't know anything about this. You might have more knowledge than me on this book, Face.
Yeah, no, I'm actually gonna go ahead and admit that I really don't know nothing. I remember reading the solicitations for it, and I saw some preview pages of the art, and it just wasn't something that struck me as one I pick up. But you know,
with this book, you know what I have? I have nightmares of Ludocrats. I don't know why. I saw this book, and I was like, you know what? This could be like Ludocrats. But I think the one thing that might get people's attention is that it is a #1. You know how people get really crazy when they see a new series and things like that.
I mean, especially if it's something that hits.
Yeah. Funky, that niche, you know, those weird little things. I think that gets a lot of people sometimes. It's just one of those books they might just put away and put in a box for a few years. But yeah, this one is a pass for me for sure. All right, we got Scumbag #4. It's only one cover? Oh, shoot, okay.
You know what I just realized, though? This and it's completely off the subject, comics or everything, but we really did just jump into it today. You didn't even give shout outs to anybody in chat or anything. I mean,
I'm going to do that.
Newbie slacking as a host. No. What's going on?
No. I just got ways to that's all.
We got all caught up in Hyper being late again. Like last week, he threw us off with showing up on time, and it just threw the whole shit off.
Yeah, no. I was gonna give credit to the chat just a little bit later. That's all.
No, I got you.
Yeah, no, just because there's just so much going on in the news and the spec and things like that. So I just wanted to, get into it. I think that there's going to be a lot of conversation when we get into the WandaVision, when we get into Daredevil, when we get into Venom 33, when we get into things like that. So I just wanted to,
for sure,
on a little bit, and yeah, it's just still on game mode. Yeah, so we got Scumbag #4 here. To be honest, I haven't been. I mean, I'm always honest, but I haven't really been following this at all. I haven't picked up one issue for this, so I'm probably the wrong person to ask about this book.
Oh, bro, you should definitely pick up the series if you get a chance. It's fucking hilarious. It's a quality series so far.
Yeah, like when we
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. Does it have that like Shameless vibe to it, like the show?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some similarities there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely see some similarities between the main character and of both series. You know what I mean? So.
I think there was only that one. No, there isn't. Yeah, there was just that one cover.
Well, no, there's actually for that one, I think there's a B cover and a 1 in 10.
Oh, there is?
I know there's a 1 in 10. And
let me see if I can do that little trick. Yeah, so this one is.
Yeah, there we go. 10. Oh, that's lovely. I didn't actually know what the cover of it looked like. I actually have it pre-ordered, but
I'll probably pass on that one. Yeah, and then that's it. That's the only ones that are showing there.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Oh shoot. Okay, sorry. Hyper is here. Sorry, man. How long have you been there?
No, I just got here.
Fucking
all right, you know what? I should have said I've been here since the beginning, then.
That's all
right.
Yeah,
you totally missed the opportunity there.
That's all right, man. That's
like, man, I've been sitting back here for like 10 minutes.
Sorry, guys, for being late.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good.
It's expected. No.
Those that are new to the chat or new to the channel, Hyper Combo, he is always on here. So yeah.
Never on time.
Hold on. The last few Sundays I actually have been on time.
That's true. Actually, we were just talking about that. See, that's what happened too, because I was just giving newbie all kinds of shit. because like we just jumped straight into the comics, like didn't get no shout outs to chat or nothing. So, I thought apparently I was under an incorrect impression that he missed it, but he was just
Oh, I
prepping to
did
do it
not.
later and all that, of course. But yeah, I said, I tried to
No,
attribute it to
so,
the fact that you were on time last week and it threw everything off.
So
so
this is
the
what
reason
happens
why
when
I
I'm
did
not
it,
here.
the reason
Right? It just throws everything off.
The reason why I did it was I wanted to get through Image, thinking that we weren't going to see Hyper through it. Then when Hyper comes, just go through the chat because I want, just sometimes there's questions that people are asking to Hyper or to Face or to certain individuals. So I just wanted to wait for everybody to be here. That's all.
Nice save.
Makes sense. Yeah,
No,
totally.
that's how it always is,
I'm
man.
buying it. I'm buying it.
You check. If Newbie was a stock, it's skyrocketing right now.
Wow.
With
Okay.
with that said, before we finish Image, just so everybody is feeling good, shout out to the chat. Key issues. You kids have fun tonight. I'm assuming he's talking to Hyper and Face or some other guys. I don't know. Johnny, what's going on, man?
Dude,
Wesley,
I'm older than you, newbie.
yeah, whatever, man. Fellow Canadian right here. Bricks, what's going on, man? Face, of course. Hey, what's going on? Hey, if you guys haven't checked,
that guy's an asshole.
who?
Face.
Oh, Face. Oh,
Oh, I thought you meant Jay too. I'm like, what? Yeah, like, what did Jay?
If you guys haven't checked his IG, make sure you guys go check his IG. He just went to a collection. He was talking about it in our last show, and he's been posting pictures. If anybody is looking for certain books, he's selling books for someone, but he's finding a lot of gems. So make sure you guys go and check him out. He's got a lot of good books. Sam, what's going on? Lasso, what's going on? Hope you're having a great day. Team Nerd. Boom, boom. Kev, what's going on, man? Kid Collector.
What's up?
Street Side. What's going on, man?
Oh, we got to talk about Kid Collector's funny rant on the app that will go unnamed. If you actually got a chance to check out his Power Pack show that he did with Wesley Comics, who's also in the chat, and Joey does comics, they did a pretty hilarious rant on that app. Let's just call it the app.
For sure.
So that actually aired a few hours ago. So definitely check that on the rewind.
Yeah, definitely. They usually go like 5:30 Eastern time or 6:30 Eastern time, somewhere around there.
Exactly.
There is no chat, only Zoom.
That is true.
So yeah, man. Any new Batman news? Yeah, we'll get into it, man. We're just gonna finish off our new comic book day stuff. We're just starting, so hang in there. Punch, what is going on, my brother? Boom, boom, boom. All right.
Yep.
So let's get back to it. Let's finish off with Image. We got a busy day or a busy show. I'd rather. New comic book day, comic news, and then we're gonna finish off with some comic spec. I believe Hyper is gonna grace us with another PowerPoint today.
Oh shit!
That's why I was actually late. So I actually had a valid reason.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect. All right. So there you go.
I'm not, but I was on time. So.
All right. So finishing off with Image, we got 7 to Eternity, number 16. We got 2 covers coming out. Are you gentlemen on this run at all? Are you picking it up this week?
No.
No, but I've heard it's very good. And the reason why I'm not jumping on it is because I think this is the last issue. This one or the next one is the last issue of it. So yeah, it'd be kind of late in the game for me to jump on it.
Okay. What about Stillwater, number 5? Stillwater was,
of course.
Yeah. This one's been pretty popular.
Yeah, it's kind of flying under the radar. I find. I mean, I know the issue 1 kind of popped off, and then it kind of no one's really been talking about it. But I still have faith in this series. So yeah, I'll be picking this up.
It has a serious like sort of Walking Dead type vibe to it.
Yeah.
And I think that we're probably about to start to get into some of the more interesting stuff in the series. Like it's done most of its setup and
exactly. It's been a
world
lot of
building now.
Yeah, it's been a lot of character build up, and which I appreciate because the thing is, these are characters we've never seen before, so it's nice to have a bit of a backstory before you start getting invested into them.
Yeah, and especially with what exactly is going on and why it's actually like kind of horrific for these people because you would think that not being able to die wouldn't exactly be a bad thing, but
Exactly.
the way it comes about in this series, yeah, it's definitely not fun for everyone, that's for sure. And
I wouldn't mind if that was my superpower, to be honest with you.
what if you were 8?
If I was 8?
Yeah. And you stayed 8.
Oh, okay. No, that's different then. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So there is a lot to it that's kind of like that they've thrown in this to really get you to buy into why not being able to die can actually be kind of a horrific type thing.
It seems like
in certain circumstances.
but it seems like the best situation is you have to be at your physical prime and then move into the city, and then you're set.
Yeah, right.
True. Yeah. Spanky X813. You know what? I don't feel comfortable saying Spanky. I'm just gonna say X813.
Why you don't want to say Spanky?
Do new Walking Dead comics still come out? Yes, we're actually just right on that right now. Actually, to finish off, Image. So we got Walking Dead DLX number 7. We've got 3 covers.
Yeah,
I think Face, you're still picking up Walking Dead, are you not?
Yeah, I'm picking them up. Gives me a chance to reread through the Walking Dead series and to check it out in color. So, I'm not. I got the original cover. I go after the original cover. Reprints that they've been doing, and the connecting covers for the first 6. But now I can drop it down to 1 issue, so I'm kind of happy about that.
Actually, I'm picking up the Arthur Adams because that does connect to the other Arthur Adams, because there's actually 2 different connecting variations with this series.
Oh, so they're doing another one.
No. I mean, it's not that they're doing another one. The Arthur Adams actually started from issue 1. So
okay.
Yeah, so it was 2 connecting series sets all along. I just didn't know that the Adams one connected until someone pointed that out to me.
Well, shit. I wish you wouldn't have pointed it out to me.
They shouldn't be that hard to find, though. Honestly.
Damn. Yeah.
But it's that one.
For J2.
Yeah, that's the one. The Adams.
Okay. Yeah, I might have to check them out. To answer J2's questions, I actually prefer the black and whites, but being able to see it in colors, it's kind of a new novelty type thing. And it just gives me a reason to read through it again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Spanky is a famous Daredevil. All right, cool. That's all right.
There you go.
Right. So moving on to Dark Horse. We've got, oh man, I don't even know how to pronounce this. I think I butchered it last time. So
this is why we come to the show for.
Let's butcher it again.
That is why everyone is here.
Barbalian Red Planet.
That was actually fairly close.
Yeah.
Barbalian.
Hey, that's all right. I will say, I'm not
some real Hellboy vibes there.
Yeah.
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 I mean, it's a cool cover. Definitely, though, Hellboy vibes.
Yeah, I think it's a pass for me. I don't know. I'm not really following the series or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been on the series, but if I actually came across that cover, I might pick it up just for that cover.
This is that cover B. Yeah, so cover B right here for it. And I want to say there was a third one. No, that was it. Yeah, so you got, I mean, there's obviously probably some ratios and things like that, but those are the only ones that are showing right now. If you aren't sure, just read it with a French accent.
Right.
That's what I'm going to do with like everything moving forward. All right. We've got Crimson Flower number 1. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Somebody messaged me, and I would have to go in the chat. I've just been super, super flooded with a lot of messages in the last like 48 hours. And no, I don't do kids parties, so stop messaging me for that.
People be sliding into newbies DM.
But somebody actually had told me to pick this one up. Face, what is your thoughts on this one?
Actually, I was coming across this when I was doing the previews, and I hadn't heard a lot about it. I'm gonna probably grab a copy of it
because it's written by Matt Kint.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the whole reason that I'm picking it up.
I think there's two covers, right? Yeah, no, 3. 3? Yeah, 3. Are you picking up all 3 covers, or are you just picking up that cover?
No, I'm just gonna pick up one of them. I'm not sure which one. but probably the A cover more than
Yeah,
likely.
you can
But
go wrong when you pick up the A cover, right? I mean, that's usually the rule of thumb. But yeah, I don't know. It's just got this like, from what I'm understanding, it looks like it's got, I don't know, like this old school vibe-ish. I don't know. It's kind of like all over the place.
yeah, I mean, it's Matt Kent, so it can't be. It's got to be worth checking out.
Yeah. All right. Finishing off with Dark Horse. We've got You Look Like Death, Tales, Umbrella Academy #5.
Yeah, I think that's the end of this series.
No, it's 5 out of 6.
Nope, there's one more. Yeah, there's one more.
I do like this cover though. I mean,
it's pretty simple. Yeah.
The only
Not bad,
thing
actually.
Is, like, I think that like if you just wanted it just for a cover buy, I think IKEA sells something just like this for like $2.
Yeah, just go to the sunglass.
It's a whole fucking rack of sunglasses.
So you know what I mean? But yeah, it is a nice cover. I like. You guys know me. I like covers and I like the art. So sometimes simple stuff like this is cool. But
you actually like this cover?
I like this cover. Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know. It just looked like someone took like Getty images of 3 sunglasses and just copy pasted them on.
Well, here's one of the. Here's the thing I like about it.
That could be what they did.
Here's the thing I like about it, to be honest with you, is so you have these glasses that you can see right through them, and there's like blood. Then these ones have like you can see right through them, and they've got kind of like it looks like drugs and pills. And then this one looks like it's kind of has a reflection, and you can see like there's like a spider, or a bug, or something like that. So I don't know. I think it's kind of cool.
Okay, I guess, yeah. For the subtlety of it.
Will I stack this book up? Absolutely not. Will I maybe buy a cover? Yeah, maybe if it's there. I mean, I'm not dying to get this in my collection, but
yeah, I mean, it's all right.
Yeah, this one is a little weird to me. I'm not really a fan of it, and I think I said this a while back when we were talking about what's it called, Umbrella Academy. I haven't seen it yet. It should be no surprise. I am behind on a lot of series. It's just not something that I've been on. And this one is the cover C.
You didn't miss that WandaVision, though, did you?
Man, you know what? I should have missed it because it wasn't even like. Well, we'll get into that a little bit.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
How's the first episode of Star Wars coming?
Okay, so for everybody in the chat, I finally watched a Star Wars movie. Which movie?
One?
Which movie?
Oh shit!
I put it in our chat. Yeah.
Oh,
How do we all miss that?
I watched Phantom Menace.
You started with Phantom Menace? What the fuck?
Yeah. So.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
I guess he went by chronological events, maybe.
Man, he even came and asked us which one to start with, and everybody was like, "Do not start with Phantom Menace. Do not start with Phantom Menace.
But in a
start
sense,
with A New Hope."
Well, here's the thing. At least he hasn't got to New Hope yet, so maybe.
Yeah, I'll get back to it. I don't want to spoil Phantom Menace for anybody, so just let me know.
You don't want to what?
Bro, it's been 21 years. It's almost like 20 or 22 years since that came out. I think the spoiler limitation's off.
Some people still get hurt about it. So, but yeah, no, I watched Phantom Menace. It was all right. Liam Neeson is in it. Yeah, cool. I don't know. I didn't blow me away, so I don't know.
I like how Nuvi broke that news as if it's like groundbreaking. Liam Neeson's in it.
So yeah. Sam, that's like one of the worst ones. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna finish the other ones. Aaron, Newbie, already messed up. We told you to start with New Hope. All right, next one I watched is New Hope. Okay.
No, well now you can't watch.
No,
New Hope. That shit wouldn't make no sense. Now you have to watch Attack of the Clones next.
Yeah, you kind of messed up your order. Now you have to follow through. You have to pretty much watch.
You're committed.
So there's another one of us right here. There's another one. So in further news, Bush.
I feel like he has more commitment to his goals than you do.
You know what?
Right?
Well, that's like.
You know what the funny thing is? That probably actually happened a few years after that movie came out. Also.
Shit, it might have been the same time.
Oh man, you know what? That's actually pretty funny. Yeah, I know. The movie came out 2000, 2001?
No, it came out like 98 or 99.
No,
Yeah,
I think it was
Yeah,
2000.
bro, I was in high school when that came out.
All right. Okay, I'll trust you. All right. Going on to IDW. I think we're going to have a lot of noise with one of these books here.
one of these. Fuck you talking about? IDW is huge for me this week.
Yeah.
But let's start with Star Trek Voyager. I know you guys watch it. I know you guys love it. Are you guys picking
Bro,
it up?
I did. I used to watch. I mean, I still watch Star Trek, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Discovery is pretty dope.
All right. So yeah, you got 2 covers there, but let's be real.
I ain't picking it up though.
Let's be real. Everybody wants to start talking about the Ninja Turtles. So we got TMNT, the best of Leonardo. The ones that already came out are what?
It's
Raphael and Donatello.
Raphael and Donatello. Yeah.
Yeah. So the last one will be Michelangelo.
Exactly.
I think we all talked and agreed when the first one came out that this was going to be something that if you collected all 4, it was going to be.
You got to get the set.
Yeah, it's going to be something really cool to have if you're able to get the set. If you're looking at it from an investment side, I mean, I think that if you were to invest $5 a book, $6 a book, times 4, you're probably going to make your money selling all 4 if you did it.
Yeah, it's only a $6 book, and the thing is though, like, it's reprints, so I mean, it's not necessarily got anything as far as spec value as far as that goes, but it's solid Ninja Turtle stories that are collected to focus on each character. And they've got great covers. Like they killed it with these covers, and I mean that's the big draw to it is the covers.
Yeah, and like you said, they definitely look very well when they're like put together in a set. Like
right, exactly.
That's something that
if you got one, you're getting all 4 of them.
Yeah, that's something that me and Hyper actually talk about, or I think it was me and Face earlier on. I think it was like September or somewhere around there, and we were talking about. Getting those sets, like start looking at books that come out that may not be something that have a first appearance or things like that, but that are going to be a set, especially if you're looking to make some money, you can make some money that way.
I mean, newbie, not to cut you off, but as an example from just to plug the slides I did last week, the whole Cobra Kai thing, I mentioned how like the later issues, like 2, 3, 4, they were selling like around cover price, but when you bundle them up as a set, they tend to go for more.
Yeah. So just remember those timeless variants, right? Those Alex Ross timeless variants. Same thing. Like I remember people, including myself, grabbing some, and it was just like, why are you picking that up? And then you look at what a whole set goes for. It's you make your money back and more.
But the thing is, you got to be really committed to that one because there's like 32 covers in that, so it's not exactly a small set to put
that
together.
one, yeah. So definitely, I think this one's going to be a very sought out book. This one, I think, will be the turtle book to have. And Hyper, I'm not the best.
Are you?
No.
Are you kidding or?
No, I mean,
that's not this one.
I mean, I would definitely pick this up also if you're, because I believe in the character Jenica, but this wouldn't be. I wouldn't say this is the turtle book of the week to have. But
then, is it this one?
Yeah, but
that beats the one.
Face and Newbie, I need to ask a favor. Can we save this to the end? Because this is actually the part of the whole presentation. So, if you don't mind, gentlemen, if we can save that chat to the end.
Well, before we do that,
he's already pulling shots. Jesus.
Hold on. But before we do that, can you go ahead and bring it up again and just at least go ahead and show the RI cover? Since we are going over the new books and everything, people might want to see this, and it is something that we should at least mention that it's worth picking up because there is spec on this with future Lita, which we'll get into later.
I actually put the RI cover on my slides also.
Gotcha. Yeah. I figure since we're going through it, we could at least flash it up on the screen real quick for.
All right. So I guess Newbie, you're gonna have to increase it by another digit.
Oh, there's another RI.
Yeah.
No. That's
that
just.
That one's already there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got you.
Not the best looking RI, but
Yeah, no, it's horrible.
And I don't want to offend any of the turtle people. I love turtles, but this is pretty ugly.
Listen, I'm a Turtles fan, and I'll tell you that I'm not really a fan of.
I'm in the same boat. I'm a huge fan, but this cover is bad, and I'm actually really kind of glad it is because that might have put people off of it.
This
And with
was
this being a bigger issue,
this was like, hey, you got your work in. It's due tomorrow at 9, and Matt was like, oh shit, okay, yeah, give him this,
These
it
look
does
like
feel phoned in.
These look like there was like that frog game in the NES, and that was super
Cyber
hard.
Frog.
Was it Cyber Frog?
Was it or Battletoads?
Battletoads.
Battletoads. That's what it was.
They
Cyber Frog
look,
was Ethan Man's Cyber comic book
Yeah.
series or some shit.
yeah, they look like Battletoads, the way they're drawn.
They do look like the Battletoads. That's exactly what they look like.
It's pretty bad. I'm gonna see if there's another one, guys. So just hang in there. No, this is something completely different. This comes out in April, so let's just get out of there. All right, and then another title that I know Face is going to be picking up. I don't know about Hyper as much, but Transformers number 27.
No, I think Face is all on Transformers, not me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm picking it up. So
I will say one of the nicer covers as well. Face, like I haven't been able to say that for many Transformer titles, and again, it's just my opinion.
Well, they're very hit and miss. Some of them are really good, and some of them. There was one last week that was just like, they used the same the color tones in the background as they did for the actual Transformer, so it just kind of it was hard to tell where anything was defined.
Yeah.
But some of the covers, like I said, have been really good. Some of them have been, definitely a miss. But
like
the series itself, it has been very good, both of them.
Yeah. And I usually take your word for it because, you are the, I'm not going to say the cartoon guy, but the Transformers, G.I. Joes, Wildcats, things like that.
I am, man. I love the 90s cartoons.
Yeah, you are always on top of your shit. So I always get my info from you. I always ask you about those books if I'm ever choosing them.
Yeah, and that's one of the things with IDW is that they've been expanding the lore for those series so much that it's really working for them.
There was a book I was going to talk about, but it's gone. All right, Dynamite. I mean, I don't think we really have to keep too much info here. I mean, we got your Red Sonja and things like that. Face, you were picking up a Red Sonja. I think it was like last week or something. There was something special, special run or something that was going on. Is that still happening? You remember you were telling I think it was you, not Hyper, but you were telling me that you were picking up a Red Sonja, or was it Vampirella?
Well, I'm actually picking up the Vampirella Dark Powers series and Red Sonja Superpowers series, and there's another one that's coming out, Sonja Versal or something like that. This kind of plays on the Dark Powers and Superpowers are both written by Dan Abnett, who's a writer that I like, and it takes people with superpowers and inserts them into the same universe as Vampirella and Red Sonja. So that's kind of interesting. Sonja Versal, I guess, is going to introduce the concept of the multiverse and different universes of Red Sonja to Dynamite. So, it seems like they're just trying out some new concepts. So I'm checking them out, giving them a shot anyway.
So that was it for what the hell were we on? Dynamite. Boom Studios. Now, this is solely just a cover buy for me. This is just solely the fact it's a number 1. I will be picking this one up.
Actually, you might not have made a bad pick because shout out to Marvel in the chat. He actually put me on notice that this Abbott is actually going to be produced for an actual show. So,
do you know if it's like Netflix or anything like that?
That I'm not sure. Marvel, if you can help me out in the chat. I don't know if I think it's Sony, but I can't be 100% sure. The thing is, Abbott. This is not the first series of Abbott.
Right.
This is called Abbott 1973. The actual Abbott came, I believe, a few years ago. But I'm still picking this up regardless.
Yeah, I love. And to be honest, man, the cover is what really sells me on this. Like,
Mhm.
I really like the cover. They have this one. Like, this one's not as bad either. I just not connect to it, but my eyes automatically go to that other one. That cover A, I think, is the one to get. Nothing
Okay.
against this one, but
So I got confirmation from both Pacino and Marvel. It's confirmed by Paramount.
so does that mean it's going to be on the Spike network?
I don't know. That
It'll probably be a movie or
Yeah.
they'll make a TV series out of it and put it on something.
I know that there's supposed to be a 1 per store on this one, as well as a 1 in 25. The 1 in 25 looks not bad, but I'm just picking up covers A and B.
How are people talking about this book on the FOC a few weeks ago? Like, is it something that we could say it was under the radar, low print run?
It's not going to be huge, but
yeah,
it's not going to be.
I mean,
there's a lot of attention on Boom right now and everything that they're putting out. So
yeah. Oh, that's another reason why it was something that I wanted to grab, because it's almost like Boom. You can't go wrong with them lately.
And the thing is, the writer of this miniseries, Abbott 1973, it's actually Saladin Ahmed, who is currently writing the Miles Morales and Miss Marvel series in Marvel. Mm-hmm. So it's not exactly a new writer. It's a pretty well-known writer. So
this is definitely on my pull list. Definitely grab it. I remember making recommendations for some people when they messaged me what books to grab. I had this one at the top of the list, if not number 2 to grab. Just the first one that came to mind in order to grab, right? In order to get. All right, we got Expands.
Expands.
Yeah, Expands.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Number 2. I don't know. Not really my thing. I don't know if you guys are picking this up.
So,
what are your thoughts?
So this one should be kind of my thing. It's I guess sci-fi TV series. But I actually did not get into it. I think it's a Netflix series, I believe, or something like that, or maybe Amazon. I'm not sure, but it's on one of them, and I didn't get into it. This series is apparently set in between 2 of the seasons or something like that. And I didn't get into the series not because it's not good or anything like that. I actually just didn't even hear about it till way later.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna get it. I think there's 2 covers for it. 2.
I think I have to grab one because I'm sure I grabbed the first one.
This is what happens when you pull so many books.
Yeah, man. Like, so now I'm pretty committed to the miniseries.
The thing with Phase 2 is, like, if you ask him if he has a book, like, have you ever noticed he's just like, yeah, it's in like one of the boxes somewhere.
Yeah,
bro. I got so much organizing to do. I'm so behind.
How do you not know where the book is, man?
No. But you know what? I've been,
because I gotta organize all the modern shit like that
I know
get every week, and it's just.
I think it could be just because I'm a control freak, but I literally have everything like alphabetically. So like for me, like if I know where a book is, right? Like so when people are like, yeah, it's in like a box somewhere, I'm like, how do you not know? Like,
well, the thing is, I'm just like you. I like to alphabetize my collection, but sometimes things kind of pile up. Like I still have some books on my end that I still have to sort through, and if you were to ask me, like, did I pick up this book in the last few weeks, I actually have to go through because I'm not even sure myself. It happens, man. Sometimes,
right? Like, yeah, sometimes it just gets a little out of hand. There's a lot of books come in, time runs out.
I've also got three packages. So I got 2 here and then 1 over here. So be on the lookout because I'll be unboxing some of these soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, I can't do that. I can't do that unboxing stuff.
What do you mean? Like you can't wait that long to unbox it? You mean, or?
Well, no, because like if I'm gonna do unboxings of our comic orders and stuff, it'd just be too much.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like,
yeah. All right. Once in a Future. This is again another book. I think I can't remember who I was talking to, but if you can come across this number 1, I would definitely be on the lookout for number 1. I know that's kind of more comic spec-ish, I guess you could say, but definitely every time I see this run, I always make sure to tell people, hey, make sure you grab if you can find it. I'm sure it's out there, but number one.
It's not that expensive actually to find number one. Compared to other,
9.8 is like what, $100?
yeah, compared to other Boom new releases that came out where like the number one shot up. Even though this series has been getting a lot
Why
of
don't
good
you just say something is killing the children?
No, well that as well as I'm trying to wasn't there another one that also but you're right, probably something that's killing the children is actually the one that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean this one I think also because at number one I believe, Face, correct me if I'm wrong, the shops actually got double their orders or something, or it was like returnable. Like
Yeah, I think it might have been returnable or something like that. I'm not sure. There was something funky with number one. I don't remember what it was offhand though.
yeah, but something where like the number one like the quantities for issue number one kind of got super inflated to the point where nobody was really able to flip it. Because,
yeah, they ended up with a bunch of them out there, and it didn't seem like it was gaining any value for a while.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think a 9.8 is like $100 Canadian. I do want to stress, guys, when me and Hyper talk prices, we are talking Canadian. I know in the last video, there was a few people leaving comments about certain prices in books. Keep in mind,
the Canto.
Me and Hyper are talking in Canadian. Okay, we just don't want to get confused because then if I say this book's 500, people go look for it, but it's or it's too much or whatever the case may be. But just keep in mind, we do our best to try to convert it, but sometimes when we're just ranting or talking, we kind of sometimes forget. So yeah, just keep that in mind when we say when me and Hyper especially talk prices, it is in Canadian. Okay.
And the conversions usually aren't that far off anyway. So.
No, I think like $1 Canadian is $1.27 American, something like that.
It's getting better.
Like
it's definitely getting better from like compared to a year ago where it was like $1.35, I think.
Yeah, it's just we just want to be able to put the right information out there, and that's something that we pride ourselves on. Mm-hmm. And we just don't want people getting confused if they are not familiar with us in the fact that we're in Canada, right? So when we speak on the prices, just know we're speaking in Canadian dollars, okay? Right. And yeah, this is you guys already know I love black and white covers. This one is dope for sure. A lot going on here.
That's the ratio, right?
No, that's the cover A.
No, that's a 1 in 10.
1 in 10. Oh yeah, my bad.
I think cover A is the
it's
colored version.
Yeah, and it's a second printing. That one's 15, and then they got this one again. Previews has kind of been a little weird with their image updating. So,
well, Image is a little weird with updating their own images. So,
ooh, play on words. All right.
I mean, I'm just saying. Well, no, because you remember what happened with the Spawn covers here, a few months back. McFarlane didn't release the covers for what was it, 316, I think it was, or something like that. The Gunslinger cover at first.
Yeah,
nobody fucking ordered it.
Yeah. So we got Power Rangers number 3. I gotta admit, guys, this is kind of like one of those dark ones. Dark cover, like dark in the sense, not color wise, just like it got that dark vibe to it. Like you see all these bodies with like no heads and shit, and yeah.
Wait, but that's cover A or is that a variant?
That's
cover A.
Variant.
No, it's a variant. No, it's cover A.
Cover A.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I think there's a 1 in 25.
Dark for a Power Rangers cover.
Yeah, I think there's a 1 in 25 that I'm picking up, which is the Momoko, because I'm trying to collect all the Momoko ones for that one.
I don't even want to talk about the covers for these series.
Why? I'm guessing you're grabbing them all, I guess.
Yeah, I'm spending a fortune on them.
Yeah.
I think I'm going through like the first arc where they do the Montez and the Momokos also. You know what I mean?
You're getting both the trade and the blank versions?
Trying to.
Because isn't the Virgin variants are all 1 in 100s?
Something like that.
Hey, and just want to put some light into it. What's going on, Comic Night? Check out Comic Night on IG. He has got some chain box giveaways that he's doing. He's always putting out some books out there, so make sure you guys go check him out. One of the how do I say it? He's one of the more recognizable Canadian guys in our community up here. So definitely go check him out for sure. Yeah, those are the only 2 covers for Power Rangers I can find. Because then again, we got this issue right here with images coming soon.
That's odd. Yeah, there's usually a 1 in 25.
Yeah, there's definitely there's definitely RS for that Power
There's
Rangers.
probably going to be multiple. You know what
Because,
I mean?
yeah. Sometimes the previews doesn't work when you do that number trick.
I think there's a 1 in 10, 1 in 15, 1 in 25, 1 in 50,
Yeah,
and a 1 in 100.
Yeah, it's the usual gamut. But yeah, I mean,
There's probably going to be more that we don't see, right? But,
mhm.
do you guys have any before we get into the Marvel? Do you guys have any books you guys want to talk about in, like, I know it says comic and graphic novels, but in the other category, as I call it?
You may just want to do like a skim through because I actually don't really remember what's from.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, there's a couple issues that I'm picking up that coincide with some series that I'm grabbing, but there's nothing like really huge, as far as like new releases or new series or like big Spec talk that I saw in these. Like, I know I'm picking up like Bite Size because it's a continuation of a series that I'm reading. So
Notice we never even asked Newbie to go to click on Cave Woman. He just clicked it.
No, the mouse guy.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do.
There was high Spec talk that he was just about to bring up. Go ahead, Newbie.
I had Spec talk to talk?
Oh, we just assumed you were bringing that issue up for a reason.
No. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything. To be honest, I don't know what this is, but
I knew he was going to click on that one.
I just like the artwork on here, to be honest with you guys. Again, nothing Spec.
It's not the middle finger?
I don't know anything about it. No, just the art, to be honest with you guys. Gung Ho Sexy Beast #1. So if this turns out,
sounds like it's right up your alley. So
Gun Ho Sexy Beast, I think that's more key issue. I think that's more key issue. Are you guys seeing anything that you might have missed? Or
I mean, there's that it eats what it feeds. Number 3 second training. I know people have been picking this series up, and you're probably picking this up, right, First?
I'm picking up the main series. I haven't been picking up the reprints.
Okay, all right.
Ooh, Mr. Mark, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Dun, dun, dun.
Newbie's just happy he found someone that was with him on that Cave Woman.
Yeah. His eyes probably look just like that emoji.
Okay, and then I'm not really seeing anything even that I knew.
No, I mean, there's Rick and Morty. People are collecting that, but
yeah,
it's not looking like a big week as far as the super indies.
No.
All
right, let's get into everybody's favorite. We're gonna get into some Marvel, and again, guys, me personally, I think it's a slow week.
Yeah, 47 minutes in, and we're getting into Marvel, so
yeah,
it's pretty slow.
It's a really slow week, and there's no holiday coming for a few weeks, so I don't know what's going on.
And it's funny because the U.S. has a holiday tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Exactly.
Yeah. They have MLK.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Avengers 41. I think everybody's just waiting for something to happen in this Phoenix run. I don't know. I'm not on it. I'm not picking Avengers. I haven't picked up Avengers in a long time. I'm not picking anything up in the Phoenix stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm missing anything.
I'll be honest.
I would say yes.
Because I'm kind of all in right now with King in Black, and I just finished Ten of Swords. I'm kind of a bit fatigued with these giant these giant Marvel events. So I'm kind of passing on this Phoenix.
Well, see, the nice thing about this one is that it's pretty much self-contained. It seems within the Avengers issues. So if you're just on the Avengers run, then you're pretty much all right with it. I'm getting the feeling that ultimately, I mean, like, it's Jason Aaron, and it's Avengers, so I'm picking up the run. But ultimately, it kind of feels like maybe this is not going to be super impactful to what's going on, because there's a King in Black issue, I think, coming around issue like 45 or something like that, it said.
Of Avengers?
And yeah, it just seems like if they're overlaying King in Black on top of the Phoenix stuff that's going on at the time, like, I guess that kind of means that King in Black is more significant.
Phoenix Cap is dope.
I think I'm picking up issue 45 or 46 only because they're releasing a Hawkeye Timeless variant, and I actually thought they were done with those, but they actually squeezed one more Timeless variant in.
Yeah, I saw they do got more of them timeless variants coming out.
I will say the alien one for it is pretty dope. I mean, you have the iconic Black Panther on there. I'm just not. I haven't really been picking up a lot of anything alien related, and I'll probably pay for it later on. But this was one of those covers that when I saw this a few days ago in prepping for our show, I thought, man, that's actually a pretty dope cover.
Yeah, and I mean, for the most part, I do like most of these alien covers. I'm just trying to be very picky, so I don't go too overboard on these variants.
Yeah, I'm picking up a couple of them that I liked. I'm not picking up all of them.
Yeah,
but I
already.
think because they have Black Panther fighting the alien in this one and Black Panther on the main cover, the first issue of the Phoenix stuff was Captain America and Doctor Doom. I feel like this issue you're probably gonna see Black Panther fighting somebody.
Yeah. I think everybody's favorite Black Cat is Black Cat number 2.
That's the variant, though.
What? Oh, yeah, it is.
Yes, that is definitely the variant.
And then we have the King in Black tie-in.
So this cover is interesting because actually, I think it was in Drunken Chats that they actually brought this up. How it almost looks like it's like a new symbiote or something that she actually has done. Can't really tell, but it's an interesting cover. I'm picking it up anyways.
Well, the premise is that she's getting the anti-venom suit.
Right. So, I mean, is this this, from my knowledge, this is probably the first cover that actually she's donning the suit, right?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, I think this is the first time that she's been putting on any type of anti-venom suit.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been doing a lot of this shit recently in Marvel too. Like they just had Franklin Richards and Mr. Fantastic both wearing an Iron Man suit.
Yeah,
I think Black Widow had an Iron Man suit not too long ago. Blade was wearing a fucking Man-Thing suit, and it's like they last for like an issue or two, and then it's just
Black Cat was wearing an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Cat had a damn Iron Man suit too. Everybody getting a fucking Iron Man suit.
But that was earlier on in the summer, man. Like that was in like July, so like that was, if anything, one of the first ones to do it. Mm-hmm. I actually just sold the set. Black Cat 11 and Black Cat 12 on eBay recently. So I don't know. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake.
When did Tony Stark become the Oprah of the Marvel Universe?
2000.
You get a suit. You get a suit.
Hey man, he died for us. Remember that, okay?
Dude, he's not.
Yeah, we know you love him 3000. We know.
All right. Black Cat. Oh, the Peach Momoko. Hype. Are you picking this up just because it's Peach, or?
Nah. As much as
it's an ugly cover. I'll say it right now.
Sorry, say that again.
I think it's an ugly cover, to be honest with you. Like,
I somewhat disagree. I do like the color scheme behind it, but I'm just really, really trying to be very selective on these variants as of late. So, I mean, I'll be honest. I think the only alien variant I've picked up so far is the Venom one.
I think that's one of the ones I'm grabbing too.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe so.
Before I get into one of the bigger books this week, should I even click on it? Are we picking up Cable number 7? Is there anything the people need to know about Cable number 7?
Okay, so Ultra Maximus actually brought something up about this cover.
Oh, shit. I thought you were just joking.
Okay. That baby that he's holding. We don't know if it could be something, but we're not sure. But Cable, like I said, I'm picking up all these X titles, and Cable is one of them. So, yeah.
I don't know if the baby's going to be something, but I know in Cable itself, he's been searching for people that are abducting mutant babies.
Yeah.
So he's and with the whole X of Swords thing, I feel like they gotta, this is gonna be one of those issues where he's sort of like getting back at it. Maybe that's one of the babies that he rescues.
What if isn't Cyclops his son?
No, Cyclops is his father.
What? Or sorry, yeah.
Yeah, he is. Cable is Cyclops' son. Yes.
Yeah.
Cyclops' daddy.
Could it be one of those things like back in time? Like I don't read the Cable run, so I'm just throwing ideas out there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean,
Cable went back in time and now he's holding baby Cable.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
Something, just throwing ideas out there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like when people see babies or things on covers, we jump to a lot of conclusions. It could be just nothing. It could be just
Marvel. It could just be a baby. Yeah.
Yeah, it could just be a baby.
And it could be just Marvel being like, hey, pick this book up. Like, buy this book because.
Yeah, and the thing is,
is that a big selling feature? Putting a baby
I don't
on
know, but you know what I mean? Like, how successful has Cable run been? I don't know. I'm speaking because, like, I don't follow it. I don't read it. So that's why I'm just.
I mean, I don't follow the numbers, but I would venture to guess that Cable is not among the top selling X titles right now.
It's probably one of the lower X titles, but you know.
But like Face mentioned, with this whole swords, what's it called? Face Swords of X right now.
X of Swords.
X of Swords. No. The new one with the space program.
T-Bone is saying.
Sword. Yeah, Sword.
With Sword, yeah. Cable is one of the main players in this new chapter, so for that reason, it might not be a bad. Like I said, I'm picking up all these X titles regardless because it won me over after Ten of Swords.
Here's the thing I'm going to say about this book. Okay, I think right now, if you're listening to us or you are caught Drunken Chat and Ultra on his thing, right? I listen to Ultra all the time. When he speaks, I'm listening. With that said, I think that there's no need to go crazy. I think that you'll be able to go to your LCS on Wednesday and pick this up. If it is anything crazy and you don't think you're going to miss out, I think you're going to have the chance to pick this up come Wednesday.
Yeah, especially when there's other books this week that people might be going more after. I don't think this is a book that.
I think you might be all right if you miss this one.
Yeah.
Well, then it brings us to, I think it's going to be the book of the week. Me personally, I think.
I mean,
I think a lot.
Book of the week as far as what? As far as 8 million fucking copies?
I'm just not going to be surprised if someone's putting this book up for $50 come, Wednesday at noon or Wednesday at 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
They can put it up for $50, but I don't see them getting $50 for it.
Who missed out on the first printing are going to go heavy on this one, and I think that ruins it, right? I think a lot of people don't.
People already went heavy on it.
Yeah, so I don't know. For me, I'm not picking it up. I know my shop's got one there. I know my shop's going to have some. I'm just not picking it up.
I'm just picking up one copy just because. But I'm not going to go crazy on this. And it's actually to what you just mentioned right now, because people missed out on that first print a lot. And the issue with the first print was Daredevil isn't really a highly ordered series to begin with. So and a lot of people didn't really see that coming until it was too late and it was past FOC.
Only the people who had it in the pull knew what the hell was going on.
Me being one of them, exactly. Yeah. Had I not had that series in the pool, I would have been shit out of luck come New Comic Book Day. But in this case, this second print, I've seen it plastered and advertised over several online retailers' website. I can't see how people would have missed this. I mean, it's been pretty much in your face. This as well as the 1 in 25. The 1 in 25, I think it was selling for like $50 or $75 US at one point. I'm not sure if it's going to sustain that value, but yeah, because I don't think a lot of shops are going to be ordering, or they might order enough just maybe just to get one copy of the 1 in 25. But honestly,
and sorry to cut you off, brother.
No,
I think it's going to have the same. It's almost funny to me with that Spider-Man 55. Now they're making a Carnage. Now they got Venom. I think Venom 33. It's got that book. I think still the one to have is that Spider-Man 55. I think they can copycat it.
Did you see how much that Venom set is retailers are selling for? I think the set was selling for 250 Canadian, and I think the trade was selling for like 75.
Yeah,
it's because the thing is though, they're trying to like flip while it's hot, because with the Venom and everything right now, that this is the time to flip it if you've got it and you've got extra copies, because I mean the main cover, the non-virgin cover, like the virgin covers are limited, to whatever number that they are, so they're gonna be out there. And I imagine that the Venom, the Carnage, and the Spider-Man for the Virgins, they released the same amount on all of them.
Yeah, but the thing is,
but the main cover with Venom and Carnage, because people, missed on that ASM 55,
yeah,
somewhat, you're probably going to see more of those out there. So that, if you've got those Venom and the Carnage, Virgins or whatever, this is clearly the time when you want to flip it. Once the main cover hits, it's probably going to.
I don't think it's going to reach, let's go back to when the first print came out, right? I mean, people, like, if you didn't have the book, you were bitching about it. You were saying, oh, what the fuck, blah, 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 and getting mad at the guy who had 2 copies. And then if you had the book, you were selling it and happy. But again, you heard rumblings of people being like, oh, this is going to be huge. This is huge. It's like, no, it's not. How many times has Daredevil gone to jail? You know what I mean?
So the thing is,
yeah, he's been in jail a few times.
Yeah.
Right. This is nothing new, right? Like if you think that Elektra is going to be Daredevil and you think you can retire on this book, hey, kudos to you. I'll drink to that, but I just don't see it. I think this book is going to be really, it's like Faye said, it's been in your face for almost 3-4 weeks now. It's not longer, right? So I don't know. For that reason, I'm going to be passing on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm going to pick one up just because, I do like the cover. So I'm grabbing one, but yeah, I'm definitely not going crazy on it or anything like that, or getting heavily invested in Elektra as Daredevil. I think it's a temporary thing.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Hidden Gem? All right, another book that I think, again, I don't mean any disrespect when I say, oh, and I got messaged by this, guys. I talked to so many people, which I'm not saying I'm Mr. Popular by any means. I just like talking comics, all the time, every day, every minute. It's just a cool thing to talk about. So I sometimes get into some crazy conversations. But this book right here, Iron Fist, Heart of Dragon, I was told don't sleep on it.
Really?
I don't know anything about Iron Fist. I hated the show. I personally don't like the character. I shouldn't say that. He's not a character that I've ever had an interest in, for lack of words. You know what I mean? So no disrespect to the Iron Fist fans, but I was told not to sleep on these. I don't know. I'm hoping somebody could tell me more than that, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure as far as like huge spec value. See, this is a series that I'm getting. It's on my pull list, and I'm gonna get the whole series. But it's one of the series, like the little mini series that Marvel puts out every now and then, and I kind of love. Like they put one out not too long ago. It was Conan Battle for the Serpent Crown or something like that.
Yeah.
And it just kind of built on the lore of the Serpent Crown in the Marvel universe and everything like that, which is a very, one of the very powerful items. And I kind of feel like that this is probably going to be somewhat in the same vein of that, maybe like a self-contained story, but they're definitely trying to broaden the whole, I guess the sort of martial arts world in Marvel. So yeah, this could potentially be something that leads into a lot bigger stuff for.
Now, when you say don't, you didn't know about the Spec stuff. Like, are you thinking that maybe we're seeing the character like a first appearance here, or are you just?
It's possible. Yeah, I have no idea what they're going to throw into this miniseries, to be honest.
Yeah, like I said, I was told not to sleep on it. Now, I don't know whether that is just for sake of the run, as reading material, or just for something to pick up in an investment side of things. But
the cool thing about this series too is that it's written by Larry Hama,
who has a
history of who has a history of writing these types of characters, and coming up with some pretty great stories. I mean, he, Snake Eyes is in G.I. Joe is probably his bread and butter,
and Wolverine.
I will say this.
Well, I mean, as far as like the ninja type characters, Wolverine's more, but
this variant is probably going to come like extremely hard to find a 9.8, I think.
Yeah, with that white cover, yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, look at that. There's like literally, it's basically almost a blank for 3/4 of the fucking page.
Right.
It's almost like a sunglasses variant.
No, man, that was like tan, like beachy sand. But yeah, again, I was just told I'd like to pass
the light shade of vomit,
just in case people in the chat or something like that, have more information on it. If it's there, I might give it a read. Who knows?
I think it's going to be worth picking up, especially if you're into like, Marvel lore and everything like that, because I feel like it's going to be one of those type of series. It's definitely going to expand the whole martial arts culture and the characters that center around that.
And we were talking about that last week, how that is kind of getting more popular in comics.
Right?
Yeah, it is. It's true. All right, shifting gears here to probably the story to be following right now in comics, but it is King in Black #3.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's see. Who have we not seen yet that Cates has thrown in? Silver Surfer Black, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Black Winter. Should we expect all of those to show up by the end of this thing yet?
I'm just waiting for him to bring somebody in and be like, yo, Black Winter is actually Rhino or Shock. You know what I mean? Just something stupid like that.
Oh, gosh,
ultimately, in the end, yeah, that's what
that's what I'm expecting. You know what I mean?
Please don't jinx it for the sake of the copies that I currently have.
I'm just saying.
No, I can't see them doing that with Black Winter, but
do you think maybe he flipped a coin and was like, all right, Black Winter or Virus, that's who Scorpion's gonna be, and then that was just how he did it? Or
well, I'm glad that the
God, it landed on Virus.
Because I've been on record saying that I think even Cates even tweeted it himself. But then again, it's Cates tweeting things, so I'm not.
Yeah, he's his own biggest hype man. So,
yeah, but I mean,
I was hoping that it was Virus would be
and Newbie bought the hype.
That's what I was. These, if I still have these by the end of the year, I will be giving these away as Christmas cards to people. But that's what I'm gonna do.
In this, like, obviously you see Thor there on the cover with Null, and it really does feel like Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman are bringing in all their toys to play with. So I fully expect to see more, characters like Cosmic Ghost Rider and Silver Surfer Black and all those guys show up. But how relevant it'll be when they do, who knows?
But see, that's kind of why I like these kind of mega events, like War of the Realms,
right?
Black, where it's almost like it feels like a blockbuster movie on the pages of a comic book.
Yeah.
Well, and it's just getting to that point where it's time for somebody to fucking show up now. Somebody's got to show up to save everybody's ass. Like, we're in deep.
Remember when, like, in the Venom run, it was like every week there was like a first appearance, it seemed, and now it's just like it hasn't really been much.
It seems like that series itself has its ebbs and flows. Like the first few issues, like if you got in on those early, we know what those are currently in the market, like issue 3, issue 7, issue 9, and then it's been a bit of a lull, especially the whole Venom Island thing, and then now it's picking up again with King in Black. So it seems like that series has its ups and downs in terms of spec value.
Are you guys picking up all the King in Blacks for this week?
Pardon?
No, I think I'm not picking up all of them. I'm picking up the tattoo covers and probably the spoiler.
I'm probably picking up cover, like the regular cover, the connecting, and I think I'm also down for the spoiler.
Yeah, and of course the cover, yeah.
And then we move on to this one. I got to be honest with you guys. This one, and I know a few people are gonna be like, "What?" or feel disrespected when I say it, but this one reminds me the most of the Amazing Spider-Man 316, Eric Larson. Before Venom had that like tongue, before Venom had that, that stuff. That is what this one reminded me of. When I saw this one, I was like, wow, that looks, 316 to me.
It definitely looks like a much more like the old school Venom as opposed to the newer iterations where he's a lot more, exaggerated.
Yeah, and he's got the blue, like it looks more blue than black. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a sweet cover. This is obviously the connecting cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Hyper, you're going to be on this, right? Because you're collecting the
connecting. Yeah.
Sorry.
Somebody actually in chat earlier was asking about how we feel about Cortland Cassidy and the new.
Oh yeah, I think that was PS.
The new symbiote
card. Yeah,
it might have been. I'm not sure exactly who offhand it was, but I remember that somebody had asked about it and wanted to mention it when we got to talking about Venom and everything. So that
Yeah. Well,
I think
with Plague. I mean,
what's that?
I think that was because of last week, right? When we found out
Right.
that Plague, that book, Ravencroft 1, was going to start spiking. So I feel like, you would have got your answer last week. I think we talked about it last week when we brought up the book, saying, I think that's what people should be grabbing. Or
Yeah, they were just asking like how we feel about it as a character and everything. I think it's it's kind of tough to say because obviously Carnage is the main
Well, I was going to bring up
big
that
bad of the sort of evil symbiotes or whatever, but Carnage also at the moment is sort of kind of otherwise occupied with Gwenum and that whole other universe shit. I'm not sure if they're gonna really bring Carnage back into play in the main Marvel universe for a little while, or if she's just gonna be a mainstay of the Gwenum Spider-Gwen series or whatever. So Plague definitely has some possibility to at least fill that role for a little while.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I thought actually you were gonna bring this point up, Face, but like what they mentioned in the drunken chats, and I actually didn't think of this until they brought it up. You know how people put more stock in when Cletus Cassidy took on the Carnage symbiote in ASM 361 than his first appearance in 344, right? So
Right.
wouldn't it almost have a similar situation where wouldn't people, if they were going to be specking on this Plague, wouldn't they go more towards Planet of the Symbiotes 1 as opposed to Ruins of Ravencraft Carnage? Because, you get Cortland Cassidy versus you actually get Cortland Cassidy bonded with the Plague symbiote.
Yeah, and that's true. But the thing is, really, I mean, I understand the logic behind it, but that shit will only really matter if Plague actually becomes,
well, that's the thing.
Something relevant. Because if it's just kind of a flash in the pan or whatever, nobody's gonna give a shit about that, or Cortland and Cassidy, So you would end up seeing the prices go back down on the Cortland Cassidy if he, doesn't really stick around or whatever. Nobody will care. Now, if he does stick around, yeah, like it'd probably end up playing out similar to 3S or ASM 361. Where you see Carnage is the first appearance of Carnage is more favored than 344 first appearance of Cletus because the Ravencroft will still have a little bit of value there. It's holding like what $15-$20 US or some shit like that. But yeah, if Plague becomes a thing, that's the one you'll see probably jump up as Planet of the Symbiotes.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Because I mean, I think of the books, I think it's that second print of Ruins of Ravencroft, which is what everyone's going after because that's the lowest printed book right now, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to Cortland Cassidy, so.
And it is, and see, that's the other thing too, is it is kind of a different market now than it is with those older comics that came out in the 90s and everything like that. Like 344, I'm sure it's ASM, so we know it's fucking got an astronomical print run, but it's probably not quite as high as 361 was. Whereas now, that print run stuff comes into consideration a lot more. People are going after cameos a lot more, especially on the newer stuff, for a lot of different reasons.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It definitely is a much different landscape for collectors as opposed to 20 years ago.
Right. And Man in a Bubble was asking about Daredevil 25, the second print, if it'll be a money book, because we already had talked about it, so I just want to bring it up. We kind of just, all of us, I think that there's going to be a lot of copies out there, so it's probably not going to be a huge money book.
Exactly like Faye said. Just one small comment before we go. I really do. We're so close to finishing the Marvel, and then we're going to get into DC. But yeah, we talked about it. We touched on it. Daredevil 25, the first print, I think it surprised a few people unless you had it in your pull, unless you were reading it, like our man Hyper. After that, I think people knew that the second print was coming. It's been in your face. People have been talking about it. So I don't think it's going to be a money book. So yeah, I don't know. Me personally, man,
it's a cool cover and worth picking up a copy for sure.
Yeah, but I'm not buying like 10 copies of them or anything like that.
Yeah,
right.
Of course, man. We try to answer every question, man. Every question. All right, and then we get into Hulk. We got Maestro. Are you guys still on this? Like, is anybody even like? Even the Immortal Hulk stuff. I think a lot of people are just not as enthusiastic about it anymore. I think.
I mean, I picked up the first Maestro miniseries. I'm gonna pick this one up just to read it. I like the Maestro as a character. Again, it's nothing huge as far as spec or anything like that. And if you're not like a big fan of the character or anything itself, I don't think you're gonna really miss a whole lot by not grabbing it.
Yeah, I'm actually shying away from a lot of these Marvel minis.
Yeah, they are doing a lot of them right now.
So it just seems like whenever Marvel introduces these minis, to me at least, it doesn't seem like it has much of a consequence in the overall continuity of things. Aside for maybe a few series, but so I'm probably passing on this one.
Yeah, I'll pick it up to just read the series. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be anything spec value there.
Yeah, I don't think so either. All right.
Immortal Hulk, though, I mean, that's definitely reading. That's definitely worth reading.
And like we said before, you're already in the issue 40s, and we know that the series is going to wrap up in 50. So if you've already gone this far, why not just stick till the end?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I think you guys are dying to talk about this book, Star Wars.
See, Faces, I think a much bigger Star Wars fan than I am, so I'll let him take the floor on this one. But I know that 1 in 25 for this series is probably going to be fire, the Jenny Frison variant.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be the one to look at. People are going to go after because obviously it's Jenny Frison doing Dr. Aphra. Popular artists, popular characters.
Star Wars right now.
Yeah.
Right? But, it's one of those titles. Anything that Star Wars is just hot. People are collecting it.
Well, we know that the issue 6, the issue that came before that, the 1 in 25, the Jen Bartel, I think that was actually selling for over 150 or close to 200, I would think. So I don't know if this 1 in 25 is going to do the same numbers, but I saw the cover art for it. It looks pretty dope. I mean, it's a Frison cover.
Yeah, so. It'll probably be commanding a pretty good price.
Yeah.
As far as what's going on in the series, it's a new story arc, so can't really tell you much about where they're going with it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Who is on this being a big book? Mr. E. Do you guys think he's coming back and making a splash in the Marvel universe?
I mean, I think they might bring him back and they might use him as a Spider-Man villain for a little bit or anything. I don't think it's going to be anything super huge.
I don't think so either.
Especially if Nick Spencer's writing.
Yeah, and this isn't exactly his first appearance anyway, so.
No. Spotlight 9?
Yeah, so, yeah. I mean.
If you're banking on it, yeah, you're probably going to want to go with, Marvel Spotlight number 9.
The only thing that keeps me picking up fucking Amazing Spider-Man at this point is covers.
That keeps you from picking up ASM?
No, that keeps me picking it up.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, like, I mean, the Kindred shit, man.
But wow. lately the covers in ASM, I have to agree, have like obviously the 55 being the obvious one, but even the ones that came after, like especially they had like a Delato and then
right, exactly. There's like a cover here and there on each issue that just makes me pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
All the way up through I think 60 so far. So
yeah,
Greg Land sucks.
I've heard that from more than one person.
Man, Bubble.
Yeah, there's definitely been some rumors that float around about how
he acquires his art.
Yeah, him. There's actually a couple other ones too. There's been some questions about Matina with similar issues, but
I don't think Matina's been questioned. I think it's confirmed almost at this point.
Listen, I'm not trying to knock anybody's work, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Mr. E. Yeah, and again, guys, if you're new, don't ask questions. It's easy to see, hey, it says Mr. E and things like that. Again, just do your research. It's not the first appearance. It's not a first appearance. Marvel Spotlight, I can't remember the cover, but would that be a first cover appearance, even though the book was, 1980 or something like that? But yeah, the first appearance is not this book, so just
Yeah, I think that one really ultimately just got a second print because whenever it first came out, a lot of people were surprised by the appearance of this character and then bringing him back and missed on it. So they rushed out to the shops to get it, and it kind of sold out pretty quick. So
No doubt.
All right, and final book in the Marvel for this week is X-Force number 16.
Actually, one of my more favorite X titles in the current Hickman era.
this feels like filler issue though.
I mean, I didn't really read the solicitation on this one, but I just like the whole X-Force team just because they're like almost like that renegade, like they're like the Black Ops of the X-Men team.
Coco does not. He made it very clear. Like earlier in the comments, he's like, I don't give a damn about this character, and now he's like, I know about him. Trap. Yeah. So, oh
man, yeah.
People need to stop hating. Matina is dope.
Matina does have some really great covers, but yeah, there has definitely been some confirmation on some very similar pieces of art to work he's done.
Yeah,
it's
no shade
mean
on
his his stuff is still gorgeous. But
Tommy, I think we spoke about that. Who picked it up in our group here? I didn't pick it up.
I did.
You did? Okay. Hyper, you didn't pick it up either?
I picked up Alien 32 Alien cover. Yeah, I think that's the only Alien cover I picked up.
Matina is dope. Accurate statement.
Yeah, man, I love Matina covers.
Take care, man. And hey, tune in. We're always kicking. Appreciate your time. All right, and then this is the variant right here.
That's the Alien variant for this one. Yeah.
So now we're gonna get into Hyper's favorite. We're gonna get our Face's favorite topic to talk about. But we're gonna be talking about DC.
Wait, when the fuck did DC become my favorite, and why?
I don't know. I just thought that you were the DC guy in our group.
Well, it definitely isn't
because I'm the only one that reads it.
It definitely is. Oh, face. Come on.
Hyper does. What is the issues?
No, I mean, I think we could agree that of all three, Newbie isn't DC's.
No.
Yeah, Newbie's definitely not the DC.
Hey,
guy.
I got respect. Show appreciation. I'll go see the movies. It's all good. But when people start getting into the argument, Batman would kick Iron Man's ass, I gotta stop. You know what I mean? I just gotta,
I mean, okay, well, we could have that discussion after.
Yeah, that's
in the backstage where it's
all right. Let's kick it off before we get into our comic news and comic spec for the week rather. But we got Batman, Catwoman number 2. Now, before we start, isn't there a first appearance coming up in some of the DC books this week?
Yeah, and that's the only reason I'm buying that fucking book.
What's the first appearance again? Isn't it
Phantasm? Okay, so Phantasm is obviously the character that was created for the animated movie Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Mask of the Phantasm, yeah.
And Phantasm has appeared in comics that were, like the adaptation of Mask of the Phantasm or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the Adventures, right?
Well, sort of, yeah. But this is the first, like, I guess, mainstream continuity Phantasm. So,
right.
That's I guess that's a big drawing. It was the big drawing point for this Batman Catwoman series, and it got me attached to it because like Tom King historically has done pretty well on these very character heavy miniseries. So. But the first issue of this one, not for nothing, it really didn't impress me. It could have definitely used some kind of fucking blurbs to tell what timeline we were on because it kept jumping back and forth and without any indication that we had switched timelines. It was a mess.
Mm.
Tommy's saying it's almost like all the Future State number 1 for the first appearance.
Yeah, it's a safe.
Yeah, it does seem like there's a lot of more. Some of them are more significant than others, obviously.
Tom King, ZZZs.
Yeah, like.
Tom King,
but see, like, I try and give him a chance because, like, series like Vision and, the Mr. Miracle series that he did and everything like that were pretty good. But yeah, the man, when he gets Batman, not so much.
Oh, geez, yeah. Let's not bring that up again. That was a sore spot because it went well until after that wedding. But I mean, we don't need to
Well,
rehash.
it seems like more of the same in this miniseries
Yeah.
or maxi series or whatever. But man, I really wanted it to be good. I really did because I like Phantasm. Phantasm's a cool character. You know, remember it from the movie when I was a kid. Loved the character, but I don't know. I guess we're gonna get the first appearance in continuity, and hopefully somebody will be able to do something cool with the character later.
I mean, I'm picking this up just because I was already I already had Batman on my pull during the Tom King era, so this is pretty much a continuation. Because as we know, he kind of got prematurely nixed from that series because of how poorly it was being received by the public, and that's when Tinian stepped in. So this is almost like his, I guess, closure to his Batman run. So that's for that reason alone, I'm picking it up because I need answers myself.
Yeah.
Dr. Love.
And as far as the app, no, it wasn't that. It was actually an Instagram message that Tom King had put out before the series came out that he was using Phantasm in this miniseries. And that's what got me hooked on it. As soon as I heard Phantasm, I immediately called my shop and I was like, yo, put me down for Batman Catwoman, the whole miniseries. And now I'm just fucking committed to it. So
the next book, I guarantee you, Face is buying. This is where you're like, yeah, man, I bought like 2 or 3 copies, right?
Well, go ahead and pull that cover up there.
Oh boy. Oh, you got one of the ratios or something?
No ratio. I want you to go ahead and look at who's writing that for me.
Tom King.
Yeah, so my excitement level has been tempered.
You at least picked up one. Let's be real.
Man, I've got the whole miniseries so far. I'm gonna get it because I ordered it. It's fucking Rorschach. My avatar is Rorschach.
His
obviously,
avatar,
it's one of my favorite characters.
This is like a Face biography.
Yeah, there was no way I couldn't get it, but man, yeah.
Wait, Newbie has a thought. This might take a while.
Like I listen, I hate to rag on anyone's work, but I'm just not a huge fan of Nick Spencer's Spider-Man run or Tom King's fucking anything at this point.
We circled it right back to ASM in the DC section.
I'm just putting it out there because like I hate whenever we talk about something and I feel like I'm getting down on it, but I really can't help it with those because man, Jesus.
Tell us how you really feel.
Well, like fuck, Kindred, man. 50 issues before we find out who Kindred is. Then you're gonna do a goddamn an arc that was supposed to be 5 issues. Did an LR one for everyone, so it ends up being 10 issues, and you still don't amount to shit. We're still going on with this.
I'm joking, but I'm totally with you on this because
like,
it didn't.
It's very frustrating.
No, but it didn't dawn on me until someone else mentioned the fact that Kindred's cameo appearance was in ASM 1. And we're just getting the reveal in ASM 50.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Spider-Man? Listen, do you remember the Spider-Man cartoon series from the 90s?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like you remember watching it at the beginning and you would see like the title and it would be like something blood, whatever, chapter 13 or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and I would think as a kid, damn, these story arcs went on forever. Well, Nick Spencer took that shit and said, "Hold my beer."
Just to give you an idea, okay, with that thought of Kindred showing up in number 1 and getting the reveal at 50, you would have spent $250 for that whole run. You could have bought almost a Nova 1, a 9.8 Sam Alexander. You could have bought, you know what I mean? Like there's just that's where I kind of get into.
You could have bought your fucking sanity back after the frustration you're feeling.
No,
you know what I mean? Like just
Newbie, don't kick a man while he's down.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like you look at the prices for that, it's just like, you get it at 1, then you had to hold on for like 49 issues to get basically nothing. You know what? I won't hit you when you're down, man. I won't hit you when you're down. CMS Comic Vet, that Tom King Batman. Damn, what was that shit about?
I'm trying to figure it out.
That's the thing. Like,
thank you.
Tom and like I said earlier, Tom King, he's done good things with Vision. He's done things with Miss Miracle. There's been good series out there by him. Just
I didn't
Batman.
care,
Batman's not his thing.
and
Clearly.
I didn't care so much for his Heroes in Crisis. That also was kind of
So sorry,
Yeah.
that's Bricks. That's kind of how I've taken a new way to collect in 2021. I think I've made my goals kind of vocal, but yeah, I'm just looking at that as the way I'm collecting on New Comic Book Day and just buying books throughout the year now. I'm looking at it like that, where I'm like, okay, I could maybe hop on this run for like 20 issues, or I could go and get this book. You know what I mean? So
That's it. I mean, yeah.
Why not do both?
and there's no right or wrong way to collect your way. I'm just thinking for 2021, I was kind of disappointed in some money that I spent in some of the books in 2020.
Did you make a profit?
No, I made profit, but where I looked
Well,
at
then what are you disappointed about?
no, just not the books that I flipped, the books that I bought for like that I was just thinking of. You know what I mean? Like I look back and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, I probably could have bought that in Grail already instead of, flipping and making the profit.
No, I hear you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm just taking a different approach this year. That's all.
I got you.
Future State, the next Batman #2. It's an $8 book. Tell me why.
And this is what I was ragging about with Future State Batman 1, because
36 stories in it.
they're going to do the same thing with this issue, where they're going to put 3 stories in one issue, and I personally am paying just for that Batman issue, but I have to be stuck with these other 2 issues. One I'm assuming is with the Outsiders, and I guess they're going to continue the Arkham Knight story.
Probably.
Neither of which is what I'm paying admission for. I'm paying for the Batman story, but it's almost like, you want Batman? Well, you're going to have to pay for these 2 also. So, tough luck. Pay your $7.99.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much DC's modus operandi right now.
I do, but Newbie, can you click on that Future State Batman? Because I am picking up the C cover for that one, which I think should be that's that cover.
I think this is the one that a lot of people are picking up on. We were just talking about this on Joker's channel, East vs. West.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that most people are saying, make sure you grab this one out of all of them.
Yeah, I'm grabbing cover A just because I try to be consistent with the A covers, but I'm grabbing this one also. So, bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. That's the one thing I don't like about this one is like when you refresh or go back and like you have to set everything else up. Like
well, what you can do is just
Right.
just right click open to a new tab.
Yeah, open a new tab and then close the tab.
Yeah.
Oh,
way,
okay. All right. Jesus Christ.
I know that's a lot of work to click that extra button.
Our 27th thing. All right, Deceased Dead Planet #7.
I believe this is the final issue. I'm picking up the movie variants for this one. I think this is the Birds of Prey. This has the Birds of Prey movie variant, I believe.
Yes, it does. I'm in the same boat picking up the movie variant.
Yeah, this is again another book that we were talking about. I really enjoy this. Like, I like this cover.
Mm-hmm. I've been picking up the movie variants since the beginning of when Deceased Dead Planets. I mean, when the first Deceased issue #1 came out, and I've been collecting all because the first issue that came out was the It homage. So I've been just picking up all the movie variants ever since.
Yeah.
You know what though? As far as Coco, their comment about Marvel's paper quality, I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I heard that if I guess these companies talk to their printers or whatever, or distributors or whoever that they need to talk to, eventually it can be passed down the line and they can actually get whatever paper that they want. So I think that's just Marvel being cheap.
Yeah.
So this is more on Marvel than the actual.
I think so. Like they just use cheap shit.
Yeah, I mean, I can.
People are still buying, right? So.
But this is what I was going to my point where when you buy a Marvel black cover book, you really got to be careful with that because sometimes that can be very condition sensitive.
Yeah, it's true. Going back to a comment that was made in the chat, are all Future State books a first appearance?
I don't think so. because some of them are just almost like just a future retelling of mainstay characters. I don't think every single future state book has a
Yeah,
Christian.
I'm skipping the Nightwing.
Yeah.
I am too. I don't think, and again, guys, a lot of people think, oh, you know what, you like, not you guys in the chat, but just other people when you post certain things. Like a lot of people are like, oh man, you ruined it for me. Oh, you spoiled it for me. A lot of that information's out, or sometimes it's the reverse, right? People want to know. This one, I haven't heard anything of a first appearance, so I don't know. But from what we've seen in the last couple of weeks with Future State and them being a number one, you never know. So just keep that in mind.
You just mentioned something. It reminded me of something that I saw a post on Facebook or something like that said people were sleeping on Teen Titans and the fact that Red X was coming. Who was sleeping on that shit? Who was sleeping on that?
Nobody was. I think somebody.
I saw that. I think I saw that post.
Okay. Yeah, I saw a post. I was just curious because I was damn, like I read that in the solicitations like 3 months ago.
No. Face. I actually read that post. What that post was alluding to was there was a certain YouTuber who was basically on his channel saying how no one saw this coming.
Okay.
My mom knew about it. My mom's like, "Hey, you picking up Red X?"
I just saw that post and I was so surprised. I was like, "Were people really sleeping on that?" Like,
no. I think that post was more of a rant towards because this YouTuber has a very prominent following. So
gotcha.
it was more of a rant how this YouTuber has such a mass following, yet he's giving like these. It's like an OMG kind of moment when it shouldn't have been.
But did you see there was no backlash, right? Like no one that follows such YouTubers said anything. But that's it. I don't want to talk about it because then we'll get into it deeply, and it was just a weird thing, But yeah.
But speaking of interesting stuff that's coming in the future in that vein,
new.
right? But speaking of future stuff that's coming up in that vein, there's going to be a Robin series that's coming up that I think who is it? Tom Taylor that's writing that?
Oh, you mean like an ongoing Robin series?
Yeah, he's writing a Robin series based around Damian.
Dude, if Tom Taylor's writing that, then I'll definitely be on that then.
I know, right? That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, oh shit.
You sold me on Tom Taylor.
Exactly. It's like, okay, I think I'm gonna have to pick that shit up for sure.
Universe X is right. Everybody, it's funny how channels compete on X. It's hilarious, saying that they quote on. Well, he didn't put it in quotes, but that they've been talking about that. That's the phrase that you hear from everyone, right? It's like, I've been talking about this book forever, and you know what? I've been guilty of that. I've said that in the past. You never know.
Yeah. Well.
You had me at hello.
Yeah. I mean, it happens.
Yeah. I'm gonna
get to a book later when we start talking about Spec. That I'm gonna get to a couple books that I've been talking about for a while that are starting to become more and more relevant all of a sudden.
For me, the biggest thing, and I've told Face, Keys, and I've told Hyper, I won't, and I refuse to put out false information or information to pump and dump or send people to a certain book. I created this whole thing to help people. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. I will never, put false information out there, but come on, let's be real. Everybody.
The only reason that I even mentioned it was because it like I said, it kind of surprised. It took me by surprise to see that. And it was thought that people were sleeping on it because, like I said, I read it in the solicitations 3 months ago, saw that, Red X is coming, ordered the books, and then kind of forgot about it. So I don't really follow and I've been seeing, a lot of other people talk about it and, post on it and everything that it was coming and it's going to be, something that they're looking at and everything. So I just but I know that a lot of my stuff is very comics focused. So I catch a lot more
but
stuff like that. Then.
Yeah, but that's something that we pride ourselves on, guys. And I hope you guys see that when we talk Spec or we talk, and you see it when, even if we take a book, like I know some guys will message me and be like, hey, yo, can you talk about this book? I always give the credit. Like that's always important to me. So yeah, but hey, everybody who runs a channel runs it differently. kudos to everybody. Do your thing.
Well, and
What?
yeah, and again, I guess I guess the way to explain it better is when I felt like whenever I saw that, it was the possibility that people were sleeping on it, like maybe that we hadn't been mentioned in the book enough or something like that, or we hadn't mentioned it enough prior to it coming out that there could be something there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kind of felt like we might not have been doing our job.
Hey Jorge, no, don't take it that way, bro. You're good. No, I was just speaking, just in general, man. Not towards you. I know. No worries. Coco does a lot of research. Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it's about. Is just trying to put the information out there so everybody can get the books that they want.
Yeah, that's all we're trying to get at. Is we pride and myself pride when I bring these guys. That's one of the first things I told them. I'm like, I will not put false information out there. It's always to help the community. So that's why I hope you guys tune in. You know what I mean? There's a lot of great guys out there that do a lot of good research. You know what I mean? Coco, Universe X, Hawaiian Punch, Ultra, Mel V. There's more. I know I'm missing more, but you know how it is. Sharing, caring, yeah. Absolutely, man. Why wouldn't we help each other out? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, moving on. We got Wonder Woman Future State Immortal Wonder Woman #1.
I think people are into that Peach Momoko variant for this one. Not my favorite Peach, but I think that's the one that people
don't.
Well, I think this one's going to be a big one because they're sort of like bringing back Nubia, and I think that's the big draw for this one is the Nubia story.
Mm.
If you didn't look at the suit that she's wearing, right, the costume, you would think like me personally, I went to Sailor Moon almost. Like that's how I kind of got this for whatever reason. Like
I thought it was like Medusa. The
or Medusa, yeah.
The girl with the snake hair.
Yeah. Put it on my name unless I know exactly. 100%.
I think I'm gonna skip the Momoko on this one.
Yeah, it's not the best.
Not my favorite. Yeah.
Not the best one.
And I know Momoko gets a lot of shade, but I don't really hate a lot of her work. I mean, it's kind of hit or miss with me with some of her stuff, but I know some people. She's a very polarizing artist, I find, in the community.
Oh God.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, hey, when you're putting out as much things as she is too, though, you guys got to understand, right? Like it happens to anybody. Like take an actor, and this is just the first actor that comes to mind. But like Kevin Hart, he was a thing. I mean, he still is, but like he didn't put the greatest movies. Just because he did 14 movies in a year doesn't mean all 14 are good. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just got to take advantage of your opportunity. But yeah, that one is.
Yeah, it's not my favorite cover.
But at this point,
it's not a Middleton.
Yeah.
You should know what kind of movie you're getting into when you're watching a Kevin Hart movie. At this point,
I expect like Grammy or no, not Grammy. Grammy's music. Shoot, what's the acting one? Oscars? Yeah, I expect like Oscar performances. Okay.
You're going to be sorely disappointed.
I know.
I couldn't tell if he was actually being sincere or sarcastic at that.
Yeah.
Legion of Superheroes #12. I haven't been on this run since issue 6.
Well, we know why, because of those.
Has anyone? Like you know what? I actually haven't minded Bendis's run on Legion. It hasn't been bad. It's definitely I think better than his run on Superman and stuff. But
hold on, issue 6 came out in like April.
COVID, bro.
Yeah, it came out around that lockdown period. I feel.
Yeah, COVID.
And it's just at 12 now.
I mean, there's been
and I think
publication.
Isn't it? I'm not sure. I could be wrong on this, but I think this might be one of the last issue or one of the last issues for the current run of this. I could be wrong. I know Bendis is leaving Superman and
yeah,
whatnot,
that's weird. So. I just noticed that because I'm like, wait a minute. 6 came out. I remember picking it up in April, and now we're on 12, and that's almost what January, February, March, April, 4. So we're
almost a year later. Yeah, COVID, bro.
That's a little weird. Like you're not even putting out a book a month, basically. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean,
yeah, but you forget they stopped for fucking 4 months.
There was a delay in publication, right, for a while.
Oh,
right, and then
that's right.
yeah, and then after they did start up, they weren't doing a full publishing schedule for the first couple months. So
okay, when you said a stoppage, I just automatically went to like COVID lockdown, and I was thinking, I'm like, wait, no, that was March, like that was it. But yeah,
no, yeah, that
right.
was a few months that they stopped producing books.
Yeah, you're right. So okay, yeah. War of Superman's Worlds of War. I got to be honest with you. I don't have. Well, I never had anything Wonder Woman up until 2 weeks ago in my collection.
Oh,
I don't have any Superman.
I'm glad you pulled that up.
Yeah,
I was just about to say that I'm getting this. I have it pulled for reasons, and I don't know what they are. But now that you pulled it up, I'm actually glad because I see right in the top there, Black Racer. I guess there's the first appearance of a new Black Racer character, and I'm pretty sure that's the whole reason that I'm just grabbing this issue.
Yeah. Shout out to Sid Flaherty from the Spine Ticks that popped in. Welcome.
yeah, man. I checked their show out on. I stayed up past my bedtime on Saturday.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. I was actually surprised to see you in the chat because normally I know it's usually night for you.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have to work super early. But yeah, I caught them. Big shout out to them. Make sure you guys go check their channel out. It's every Saturday, 11 p.m. Eastern time. So
yeah, because they operate on West Coast time.
Yeah, god damn it, make it easier for us East Coast people.
Are you East Coast?
I think we're all East Coast.
We're all East Coast.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you were like Central Canada or something. I don't know where the fuck you live.
Think of newbie where I am in Canada. Just think New York. That's the best way to describe it, like New York.
Well, listen, us down here in the States, we don't know what provinces and prime ministers are. So
that is I can do a separate chat and teach what all that means. So
you could do I'll make a YouTube video.
Yeah, I should. Like, this is a province.
Right. Give us a Canadian comic book character from each province. How about that?
Oof. Captain Canuck. Alpha.
Good luck.
Okay, so Wolverine, Alberta, Alpha Flight.
Oh wait, are we actually doing this now? Live shit.
No,
good luck. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. No, you can't. You can't.
I don't know if I can come up. Oh shoot, it's June 6th that it came out. Why did I think April? I went heavy and sent 12 of them to CGC, and by the time they came back, the hype was, oh, yo, that's exactly the same reason I didn't send mine. I still have 2 I can't get rid of. Like,
but that hype could still come back. Like, it could. I mean,
you're right.
Yeah, it probably won't, but it could.
See, that's the thing. Like, that's the thing with sending them off the CGC. Like, I know people that will buy their books Wednesday morning, and then by Wednesday afternoon, they might not even need a press. They just send them off the CGC.
Newbie, I think I told you, right, that I have books coming in from CGC that I sent back in November, and a lot of those books were, he's already laughing because a lot of these books were Codex and Virus related store exclusives. So, hooray for
shipping delays did nothing for that.
Yo, you know what? There is a market for it though, and I say that based on this. I had, because if you guys didn't check it out, go check out my latest video. I show off the books that I won from Hyper's giveaway.
Yeah.
And he partnered up with King Gaming, so I won a game as well. I posted that stuff. There's a short video on it, so make sure you go check that out. But Hyper, you knew that I had a few extra copies of 26, 27. I put those up on eBay, and I sold both covers of 26 and 27, and I think I got like $40 for it. So,
well, it's not really too surprising either though, because it's not gonna. I don't think you're gonna see any like huge increases in value or anything, but I think you'll see it probably hold just because the whole run of Venom right now is kind of in demand and people want it.
I'll be honest. I thought I'm actually surprised he even got 40 for it. I thought I actually would have dropped closer to cover, in my opinion. This is actually some good news.
Yeah. So, I mean, there is a market. Like, I know if you look on eBay, and I don't know if you'll be able to find it outside of eBay, but on eBay, I know you can still sell that free comic book day for like $5.
Really?
Yeah. Because here's the thing. A lot of people are sending that issue to CGC just because of the whole...
The notation.
Yeah, the notation.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Like looking back, will that book be anything in like 10, 15 years, 20, 30 years even?
Who knows? I mean, yeah.
But
It's more likely that it will because of the notation.
Exactly. Yeah, I personally do, and for those reasons, like I know I kid when I bring up the 25 copies I have, but I will keep at least 2 or 3 because I know down the road, who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
there's definitely like some niche markets for these types of things. I mean, and I even get involved in it. Like I like collecting some kind of like weird off the wall shit. Like, you know, I got a Mark Jewelers in my collection that's just there just because it's a Mark Jeweler, and I'll occasionally buy like CGC books that have a pedigree label on them just because they have the pedigree, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
So
it's a one of a kind.
Yeah, exactly. Those kind of weird things that you just don't find very often.
I'm betting on the COVID-19 spec. It will be huge.
Right.
No, but you know what? The thing is, I mean, no, like you actually did sway me with that argument because you're right. Because when people look back on it, it's
the only book that's going to have that notation.
Yeah.
Carlito's in the house. What's going on, brother? Carlito, one of the good guys in the comic community. Really solid dude. I have one comic that's Hulk versus Quasimodo. Yeah,
I saw that one. I actually saw that one.
There's just a lot of those niche, those weird ones that kind of, you know,
right,
and the test of time, and years down the road, they sell for whatever the reason may be. You know what I mean? So me personally,
yeah, like look at that. I think it's the final issue of the Alf run.
Is it
the one with the seal?
Yeah, the one with the seal. Like that fucking cover sells for ridiculous amounts of money. It's so stupid.
Just because it's a very suggestive image. Yeah.
Right. It's just one of those weird fucking oddball things. It's, you know, people just enjoy those types of things. There's a market for them.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. So for me, man, I'm going to be keeping at least, like I said, I always joke. I've got like 25 copies. I think 26 with the one Hyper sent me. But
sorry, man.
It's all good, man. But I'm gonna keep it. And again, guys, remember early on when virus was a thing, like all those books were free. Every time I went to the shop, my shops had them. Me and Keys, we used to get like 3-4 copies every time we bought a book. So,
right,
you know, worst case, it's like Keys always says, and this is my favorite line that Keys says when we used to go to shops because we're in lockdown, right? But he used to say when free comic book days come, he would take them and be like, free bag and board. And it's true, right? That's the worst case scenario. You get a free bag and board. So,
shit, y'all are lucky that your shops were bagging and boarding them.
Yeah. Yeah, just think of all the controversial things, man. Yeah, like I said, it's going to go down. Oh, shoot. Legion of Comics is in here. What's going on, man?
What's up?
And I mean, you see strange stuff like that. Like whenever the COVID stuff first started hitting, I think the first appearance of a character named Corona in like Fantastic Four went fucking nuts.
No. It wasn't. It was
Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, was it Spider-Man? Yeah. That issue blew up just because of that character.
It was Spectacular Spider-Man, actually.
I remember I went to because guys, it is no secret the beer I drink, and
you already might as well say it. You put it out there in the first 5 seconds. You already flagged your video.
I remember going to the beer store and like nobody would touch them. Like almost like if that beer was.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like the reason that the virus. You know what I mean? Like it's just, whatever.
I thought y'all were just required to drink Molson up there.
No, fuck that. Finishing off DC, we got Future State again, another #1, possibly a new character. I haven't heard anything about it, but we got Future State Catwoman #1.
It's supposed to have a storyline with the group of characters that they call the Strays. I think they're supposed to be featured in this in this issue, but they already made their first appearances in a previous Catwoman issue. So this is just a continuation of that. So I mean, I'm skipping this one. I can't grab all these Future State books.
Yeah, no, same.
I would like to skip this one, but she's not going to allow that.
She meaning
the girlfriend. I'm sure there's a cover that she's gonna want. It's Catwoman, so.
But again, like it's not something wrong to ask because the last couple of weeks we've had that where, first appearance has happened, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, not every.
Yeah, this one was already out there though.
because the thing is, not every first appearance is going to be solicited, right? Sometimes they do catch people by surprise. You're right. That could happen.
So yeah, and I only say that because earlier in the chat somebody said, "Hey, what do you guys think about that?" I mean, yeah, we have had it recently, but yeah, I don't know. Usually, some of the news breaks a few days early. Usually by Saturday night, Sunday. Some of us have information, and I haven't heard anything from them. So
especially with DC's weird releases and everything like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe nobody's got a hold of this issue early. I don't think it's going to be super huge as far as spec or anything. It'll probably be a good story. The current run of Catwoman's been pretty interesting, and it looks like that's going to continue. They got Ram V getting on the series, so
if I had to buy one book from DC this week, it would probably be that Birds of Prey. What is it? Deceased Planet #7. I think that would be the one cover I grab.
What about that next Batman?
Well, and that's what I was just gonna say. And outside of that, I think it would probably be that Tim Fox without the mask on the cover. I think those two are the big plays. But yeah, I don't know, man. This future state stuff, I'm a victim of it. I got the Wonder Woman. I got the Teen Titans. We were talking about the Teen Titans for a bit. I mean, everybody knew it was coming.
Except apparently one YouTuber.
Well, yeah.
Well, DC did what they were supposed to do with this series. I mean, like people really didn't want to get on Future State. There was a lot of resistance to it. And then whenever you started hearing about these, these appearances that were coming, Yara Flor and Red X and the new Batman, people got more and more interested because they're interesting concepts. And I think Future State did it better than they initially thought it would.
And the thing is, not for nothing, but if this whole Future State thing was just driven only by spec, it's one thing. But you've also been hearing people give rave reviews for some of these Future State books that have come out recently, like the Yara Flor.
Yeah, most of them that I've read have been pretty good. I can't complain about any of them so far.
So the thing is, it's at least on the reader side, it's also getting the thumbs up. So I think that's also helping out.
Yeah. The only two things I would say that have sucked about the Future State so far has been, like you were saying about, the Batman issues where you're essentially buying it for the one story, but it's got that jacked up cover price for the additional stories.
Exactly. Yeah.
And other than that, just that every fucking issue for the most part is Future State, and it's kind of a tie-in. So it's kind of hard when you're trying to go like across the board when there's just so many every week.
For sure. I mean,
but again, just keep in mind, we've got 3 Future State books at issue #1. If you have the capability of going to the shops and checking it out, ask them if you have it in your pull, things like that. I don't know. It's not a bad buy. Like I said, a lot of the DC guys who, like, I am not the biggest DC fan, but I do get some books, right? So I don't know. Just make sure you guys are doing your research. That's all. Don't just assume because it is a #1, it's going to have a first appearance just because we had the last couple have first appearances. That's all.
Yeah, like this is another one, the Shazam one. Initially, I was off of this one. I was not going to pick it up, but it does tie into the Teen Titans stuff that's going on. So it's one that I had to add to my list because,
Yeah, because
I got to know what's going on.
Because I believe it's actually the same writer, Tim Sheridan, who in the interview he did mention how the Shazam is kind of interwoven with the Teen Titan Future State. So it's almost like I'm already picking up Teen Titans, so I'm going to be picking up this anyways just to get a complete story of what happened. So yeah.
Well, if you want to be a DC fan, it's tough being a DC fan, but this is probably one of the better times to get in because, they are kind of, I guess they're not actually calling it a real reboot, but they're sort of rebooting everything.
It feels almost like it almost feels like period, almost to see what sticks and what doesn't, kind of thing,
Yeah, like, but they're putting good writers on these series and everything like that. I mean, like, Tom Taylor was getting Robin, Ram V, there's a lot of really solid writers that are jumping on some of these books that I hopefully will be able to turn it around for DC.
I mean,
did you? Sorry to interrupt. Did you message me your PowerPoint?
yeah, I emailed it to you. Hold on.
It's in your email. Got to do a little more digging, newbie.
It's called TMNT.
And someone, I think it was
email. Nothing.
Let me resend it.
Okay. And while you're doing that, I'll answer Coco's question about Batman Who Laughs. And I love Batman Who Laughs as a character. And the part that sucks about it is with Death Metal, essentially, you pretty much in the end that they're gonna kill off the character or whatever of the Darkest Night. But they've kind of shown that Batman Who Laughs is actually somewhat of a separate character from the Darkest Night because Batman was able to bring him back with the Black Lantern ring or whatever. So there is some potential there that they'll have a return of the Batman Who Laughs. I don't think we're going to see the Darkest Night come back by any means. The character is just too fucking OP. When you have to, have an event like Death Metal and he's out there killing off gods and shit. But I think that Batman Who Laughs still has some future potential. And yeah, he's dead right now, but it's comic books. Nobody stays dead forever. Somebody's eventually going to want to bring him back and use him, and hopefully they'll do it as good as what we've gotten so far.
Hold on. Let me.
Well, hey, while you're doing that, let's get into our comic news just before we get into our comic spec for later. I'll go first. 2 rumors supposedly have been confirmed. One is Matt Damon is and will be in Thor #4. What role, what capacity? No idea.
I mean, he was already in Thor #3, so.
Yeah, whatever your beliefs are on the actor. I mean, wait, Matt Damon was in Thor 3?
Sure was. Look it up, bro.
Yeah, he was like he made a cameo in that theater scene.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be what you get out of Matt Damon in Thor 4 also, so don't get too wrapped up in it.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I mean, he is a A-list celebrity.
But he just did a bit cameo in it, so.
Okay, so that might be something to watch. The other news that I'm hearing is confirmed is Storm will also be appearing in Thor. So,
Storm is going to be in Thor?
That's actually that's very fitting. Love and Thunder.
That's what I'm hearing.
Well, it is fitting, but why?
That's what I'm hearing. As some news, some possible character to be in that movie. Again, why? Who the hell knows? The other news I got is that I posted it on my Instagram, but King Kong vs. Godzilla is up and running. They're going to be shooting it right, like on target. They're not moving the date or anything like that.
Shooting it? No, bro. They just moved
it.
No,
I didn't mean to say shooting. Sorry.
No, it's done. It's done. They're releasing that shit in March.
Yeah, March 26th, like I posted. Yeah. So make sure you guys go check that out. There's going to be so much CGI on that. I joked and said, CGI versus CGI.
You don't think that they found a life-size Godzilla or King Kong?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just going to be some dude with like a doll, just and then just have like the green screen on the hand, something like that.
Yeah, sure. That seems legit.
And then there was something else. Oh, of course, everybody is talking about 2 things this week. One, I mean, if you're really into Nova, Kevin Feige said, Nova is coming. He teased about it. He gave a very vague answer when asked about it, but Nova books have seen a little rise in price.
See, I'm going to be honest. That's where I thought you were going whenever you came up with that Storm shit in Thor, and then it threw me off. I was like, why the fuck are they introducing Storm in Thor?
Storm is going to be in some way or shape and form in Thor. Whether it happens,
you're gonna have to show me that article or something. I just want to check it out.
Yeah.
But as far as Nova, the cool thing was that he actually said we are gonna end up getting both Novas.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if you guys have
that settles that conversation.
If you guys have been following the spec, you guys will know I've been team Sam Alexander as a lot of the people in the chat have been. So if you haven't picked that book up or you have it, you are the real winners. You're the real MVP, as Kevin Durant would say. It was just a matter of time. Again, guys, I know that a lot of people went deep on Nova the last 2 years. Now it's time to cash in if you're looking to flip, I think. Again, it was just an answer. There's no film. There's no confirmation. There's no director. There's no script. There's no nothing.
You know what? Not yet. I don't think not yet. I don't think now is the time. I think I would wait until the release of a trailer. Because like the thing is with a property like Nova, I don't know if you remember like the Guardians of the Galaxy trailers and everything. Those trailers were fucking dope. Now the movie ended up being great, regardless. But the initial trailers looked awesome. Yeah. So and Nova's just that similar kind of property. No matter what they give us, that trailer is probably going to look fucking amazing. The movie could be a steaming pile of shit, but ultimately they're going to find a way that trailer will look great.
I can't. I mean, maybe I'm putting too much stock in Feige and Marvel, but he hasn't given me a reason to think that it would be.
Yeah, I don't think that it will be either, but that's the thing though. It could be, but they've made every trailer. They've made every trailer so far for everything look pretty amazing. So
CMS Comic Vet is right. Now that I think about it, he played that fake Loki in that play.
Thor 2. I said Thor 3. My bad.
Yeah. So
wait, was that Thor 2 or Thor 3?
2.
I don't remember.
I thought it was Thor 3.
End credits.
Okay, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Storm showing up earlier. I think it's more a play at what they're maybe possibly going to be doing with Black Panther. I know there's been maybe
I would rather see her show up there.
Chat haven't heard about it, but there is, and it's just talk at this point. But Black Panther's son showing up. I don't think they're going to go that route because you would have to introduce Storm. But it is one of those weird things. Me personally, when I saw this rumor, when I was told about this, I didn't really believe it either. But who knows?
It's going to be yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, my problem with it is I would rather her show up in Black Panther 2 or something like that. Thor already, it feels like it's going to be pretty full. We know we got Thor, we got Mighty Thor, Valkyrie's going to be sticking around. I think they said Sif is coming back. Eric Bana's playing who the hell is he playing? Damn shit. Who is he playing? I forget now.
I don't know.
Christian Bale. Christian Bale's playing shit.
Gore the God Butcher.
Goodbye.
Oh yeah, Gore. How did that slip my mind? God.
I think you think
right. Well, Eric Bana and Christian Bale, they always just remind me of each other for some reason.
Yeah.
But you got Gore in there, and we're probably gonna see who else? Shit, there's just gonna be a lot of shit in Thor. It's already gonna be a full movie. I don't think it needs Storm.
Here's the thing: before Storm, any of those, I want to see my Beta Ray Bill in that Thor movie at some point. Give me a cameo. Give me a cameo.
Yes. Give me some shit that makes sense.
That's what I was thinking we were going to see. Now, again, guys, the information where I got this is the same information that usually gets me the movie releases. This is the guy that said Isaiah, what's his name? Oscar Isaac was going to be playing Moon Knight. The guy that told me Loki had a season 2 already. So it is coming from a good source. I just like to put this information.
Oh, I believe it's possible. I could see Marvel doing it. I just don't understand how and or why that they're doing it. Yeah. It just seems like it's unnecessary to me.
Yeah.
I know they want to introduce mutants, but I feel like there's probably better ways.
The other news, 2 more news, and then we'll get into WandaVision before we get into the spec. But the other news too is Ethan Hawke has been cast to play a villain in Moon Knight.
Yeah, I heard about that.
This is crazy. I posted it on Instagram a few days ago once I got out of Instagram jail that I was a part of for 7 days for some weird reason. So I posted that.
Illicit images.
Yeah.
He's another one that always reminds me of somebody else. Yeah. Ethan Hawke. He always reminds me of Ewan McGregor. I always just get, I don't know why. But I was thinking if he plays a bad guy, kind of similar to Ewan McGregor played Black Mask, probably be all right.
Yeah. I heard. Where was I going with that? Ethan Hawke. I've been specking on Black Spectre, obviously a big villain, but I've also been talking about, Midnight. Whether it's true that he's playing a villain, who knows? He could maybe be coming in to play Shadow Knight, which is his brother, something like that. I don't know. But this is something to be on the lookout for. We've talked about Moon Knight books. I have a video coming out about Moon Knight books you should be on the lookout for as well. But we've been talking about Midnight, Black Spectre, things like that. I think majority of people have been talking about Black Spectre. But, you have to look into these smaller villains, especially if you're looking to flip the book.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, and
Yo,
by the
Matt
way,
Damon as Throg would be fucking dope. I'm just throwing that out there because Azor's mentioned it.
FYI newbie, I did send you the email.
Okay.
So
did you send it to the email that starts with a J or my newbie one?
J, because I think what happened was my other email, it bounced it back because the file was too big, so I had to send it through my other Gmail. So I think that's
trying
what
to
happened.
send you unsolicited dick pics, and this is what happens.
Yeah, that's part of my spec talk.
Last image, penis on a screen.
The last news that I'll say before we get into, I don't know if you guys have comic news, but the last news I'll get into before we get into WandaVision and our spec. The final news is I've also heard, I posted it again, some images of the Mortal Kombat movie that's coming out, the reboot. I have been told that Johnny Cage will not be in it. I've been told it's a new character. I've also been told the CGI in it is very bad. However, I have been told it is rated R, so we will finally get those, fatality fight scenes and things like that. But again, I've been told that the CGI is terrible. I hope I'm wrong with this. I'm hoping that the person who sent me this information is wrong, because Mortal Kombat was iconic game that I played when I was a kid.
Street Fighter was mine, but
Yeah. I was obsessed with Sub-Zero, man. Like I remember when I started karate and like when I was like 10 years old, I would always say like Sub-Zero, like shit like that.
But what y'all know about that Killer Instinct?
So I hope it's wrong because it's 2020. By the time it comes out, I think it's 2021. I think it comes out this year, if not next year. I just hope it's good.
If it's a continuation of did they mention if it's a reboot or if it's a continuation of the other two movies that already came out 2 decades ago?
Nah, it's a reboot.
Okay, because I was gonna say in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Johnny Cage does die at the beginning of the movie, so I thought if they were following that, it makes sense.
I don't know. I want to be excited about this Mortal Kombat movie, but I probably would have been more excited if it was animated. Like Scorpion's Revenge was fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
I just with the live action, I don't know. They haven't done it right yet. I'm not convinced that they will.
No, and that's the thing, right? So
but
they do really well. I think it's a good thing if they're saying, hey, we got those rated R. We finally got a rated R, and you're going to be able to see those fatality scenes. But if the CGI is terrible, from the information I'm gathering.
I did enjoy the first one, though. I did enjoy the first Mortal Kombat. Even if they had to work under a non-rated R parameter, I thought that first one was pretty solid.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't great either. It wasn't.
No.
It was all right.
Yeah, but then again,
that's right.
I think we're putting fighting movies at a different curve than other movies. So,
Scorpion.
Is that because we actually expect them to be fairly good?
Yo,
it can be done, man. Scorpion's Revenge was fucking great. Like if they would have just made that movie live action, it's a winner.
Yeah. I support. You know what I mean? I love when you guys tune into the show, but man, I think Sub-Zero makes Mortal Kombat.
You sound fucking crazy.
That if you're talking about the ninjas, you got Reptiles, Scorpion, Sub-Zero. I think Sub-Zero is the more iconic one.
I think you're
bro. Nah.
You're
Scorpion.
You're way off on this one.
Yeah, with the get over here. Yeah.
Bro, with the get over here.
What
Between the two,
about the movie. Think about the first movie when they're there and like they're on the boat and then it's like Sub-Zero and then he's like and he like freezes what's her name's gun?
Sonya Blade's gun.
Sonya Blade. Wow, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Yeah, like I don't know, man. For me, like I respect Scorpion. Don't get me wrong, but I just think Sub-Zero is way cooler.
I think if you look at the way how the game's been marketed, especially recently, Scorpion is usually the dude on the covers. He's usually the dude that they market, and that people usually you find more people dressing up as Scorpion than Sub-Zero. I find at convention.
Right. Like I mean, like Raiden is my jam. I like Raiden, but
That's
realistically, Scorpion
Raiden.
sells. Yeah, Scorpion sells the franchise.
Oh, Raiden. I was gonna say, I'm like, who's Raiden? Raiden. Yeah, no, I'm with Raiden, man. I think Sub-Zero's the one. But here's the thing. Again, you know, and this is my final point with this Mortal Kombat stuff. We know we're getting it. That's great news. You know what I mean? A lot of us, you know, I'm in my early 30s, but a lot of us around our age have been waiting for Mortal Kombat to finally come. It's been a long time coming. Hyper, when was the first movie?
It was like in 96 or 97.
Yeah, so we're talking about almost 24, 25 years. It's about time. But if they give us like
but see, that's the thing though. Like that's the thing though. Your expectations have been dampened because it's been 24 years. We haven't been waiting for a fucking Mortal Kombat movie. We've been waiting for a good Mortal Kombat movie.
Well, the thing is, there was an actual, but there actually was a Mortal Kombat movie it was almost like
the series,
a web series that came out on YouTube that actually had Michael J. White playing Jax. You could probably look it up. You might still find it on YouTube. I forgot what it's called, but it's something Legacy something. But
yeah, Mortal Kombat Legacy.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
I think it's 90.
That was Legacy was a TV series, and it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But guys, here's my final point on this, and then we can move on. But here's the thing. The thing that's going to really bug me if these rumors are true is, and I don't want to offend the person who sent them to me by saying it's rumors. From the information I got, yes, it's going to be R-rated. So we're going to be like, oh my God, yes. But from what I hear, the CGI is just terrible. So
that's what took me off of Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Just a cheap,
terrible, man. Yeah, goddamn terrible.
Well, you know, we'll see what we get.
Yeah,
maybe they just haven't polished it quite yet or something.
Yeah, that's true. But you know, I don't know. We'll see when the trailer comes out and people go nuts, right? Mm-hmm. Kev, from what I thought it was going to be a series, but I'm hearing that it's a movie.
I think it's a movie.
Yeah, no, they're doing a movie.
Yeah. So I'm gonna look for it, Coco. I'll message you on IG. Sweet. Yeah. So just be on the lookout for that. A trailer should be dropping sometime. March, April, somewhere around there, I heard. Again, I could be wrong. This is not my word. This is somebody else's. All right. Do you guys have any comic news, or are we going straight to comic spec?
No, I'm good with the news.
All right. Do we want to talk about anything WandaVision?
Oh, wait. WandaVision. Sorry. Yeah, that's the last one. So, has everybody in the chat seen it? Let me know. I'll give you guys 10 seconds. I'll give you guys a countdown just so I know, or you know, rather, to not listen to us for like 5-10 minutes, okay? 10.
I mean, 10 seems really high. You could probably start at like 3, and they could hit pause or whatever, mute.
6, 5, 4.
Oh, we're halfway.
3.
Oh, here we go. This is where I would have started. Much less
1.
time. Look, we're already there.
All right, perfect. So I'll start. We watched it. We watched both episodes. I talked about this on East vs. West.
We're still going to try and avoid any heavy spoilers.
Yeah, we'll do our best, but that first episode was shit. I totally get the whole...
I'll message the chat when we're done with the WandaVision. So if you guys want to mute, you just wait for my message on the live chat, and then I'll let you guys know when the WandaVision talk is done.
I understand how they're doing it. You know, like it seems like every episode or every 2 episodes, it's going to go up a decade. So I think we saw the 50s, and now, you know, at the end of the second one, it got into color, meaning we went into the 60s.
Well,
I totally
okay.
What?
But the thing is, like, it's not just necessarily that it's going to jump decades or anything like that, because it looks like each episode is going to be different. The first episode was, you know, clearly like Dick Van Dyke, you know, I Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy.
And then Yeah, and then they jumped a little more into the second episode was more like a focus on like Bewitched.
Yeah, so we do have some people that haven't seen it, so we'll respect that. We'll let you guys know when it's good.
Right.
Yeah, no, I
Which-
totally get that. I was just kind of on the premise, and I was saying to Joker, I was saying to Mel V, I said, it wasn't necessarily the fact that it was terrible, because like I know a lot of people liked it. The first episode, I think
I did. I liked it.
I think I could have done without. To be honest with you, that first episode, if I didn't watch the first episode, I don't think I would have lost anything. I know some people are like, well, we saw Agnes and we saw Agatha. Okay, like
I mean, that's the thing, though. You know, your first episode is going to, set up your situations and your characters and everything like that. They're with these series that Marvel's getting into and everything. They're not going to make the assumptions going into it that everybody knows who all these characters are or anything like that.
Right.
Even as far as knowing who Scarlet Witch and Vision are, they're still going to introduce them, kind of give a little bit of setup, show their personalities and who they are and everything like that.
No, exactly.
And that's what you got from the first episode.
Yeah, but I think, like me personally, like if you take it from a different angle, in the sense of the last thing that we've seen on a big screen was Endgame. I don't want to hear anybody say, "Oh, well, I watched Bloodshot." No, that has nothing to do with this. The last movie we've seen was Endgame. Then they said, hey, we're going to have a 2-year break. We're going to start it off with these shows and Black Widow. Boom. It's been 3 years now. So I think just the fact that, okay, this is the first thing we've seen since the pandemic, since Endgame, things like that. I was expecting a little more fast pace for them to be like, hey, we're here. Boom, the show. If you would have just brought out episode 1, I would have lost my mind if I was paying just to wait for this, and that was the first episode. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I could have done.
But the thing is, I feel like this is one of those series that I think, yeah, like just like you, I wasn't exactly totally enamored with the first episode, but I think it's also one of those series that I think it's better watched when you're watching it multiple episodes in a row. I'm not sure if the weekly episodic thing fits this very well. I don't know.
I mean, the thing it was good. It was good to release 2 episodes at first, in the first shot, because the first one was strictly like, just set up, kind of giving you not an idea of less like necessarily what's going on, but sort of this is the situation as it stands. She's living in like this kind of fantasy world with Vision and everything like that.
I don't think it's a fantasy world though, because you guys,
it's definitely a fantasy world.
Well, here's the thing: you guys have told, and you guys have heard me say this, where I said 2 of my opinions were this. 1, it's a dream, because let's remember she can alter reality. So I'm thinking it's a dream. I've said that from day 1. I said it's going to be a dream, or under a spell.
When you say
mental, she just broke down mentally, and she's just trying to get through this Vision stuff.
That's the thing. Without going into it too much, the one thing that they did reveal in the second episode, there was a scene that kind of showed that something further was going on without, throwing any, huge spoilers out there. Kind of showed the fact that it's probably
dude, don't worry.
It could definitely be. Yeah, it could definitely. It's probably definitely in her head. I don't necessarily know about dream, but.
Face, I already dropped a message in the chat that I'll let them know when the Wanda talk is done. You don't have to be too.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah. So whenever they're talking about the
and just like last,
with the radio going on,
is she's under control or something. That's who everybody's thinking, and I thought it was funny because so many people were like, "Oh my God, it's him!" And then they're like, "Newbie, what's the book?" Right? And I was like, "What? Like, just search appearance of," right? And
it's a lot.
32 expensive. Has it just spiked? They go, "No, man, it's Avengers 9. It's like early Avengers. It's been like that forever." Or no, it's not Avengers 9. Sorry, that's Wonder Man. Silver Surfer 3. I was like, no, that's been hot for like ever.
Because people are already specking that Marvel, because we already knew that Marvel was going into that horror realm when they mentioned that this Doctor Strange multiverse thing. So one of the first characters they were thinking of was Mephisto.
Yeah.
So.
And remember, and that shit would have made a whole lot of sense too. But like, they gave Vision the mind gem. Like, he should have had the soul gem the whole time. That shit would have made a lot more sense with it being Mephisto. But
But do you guys notice too that he has no idea where he is, what he's doing? Like at that work scene, he's like, I don't even know what we do. So I just think it's Wanda just recreating her own reality, because we also see it when that guy, the Beehive from Sword, comes up in the sewer. She rewinds it and she goes, "Oh no," and then she rewinds, right? So I think it's something that she's under control. But again, yeah, a lot of people have questions about what happened with that radio, right? Like the radio was saying, like, Wanda, why are you doing this? Or like, I think it's like,
who's doing this to you?
Who's doing this, right? So that's where my thought went. Oh, I think I'm right. I think I'm right with the fact that she is in a dream, or she's being controlled by something, or she had a mental breakdown because Vision died, right? Let's not forget, Vision is dead. He didn't come back.
Is he?
You know, who is this? Who knows, right?
He may not be dead.
Yeah. So
she can rewrite reality. She could bring him back to life.
Yeah. So first episode was a little crappy. The second one, you know, it had what I was looking for, in the sense of it had that there was things, right? Like the helicopter colored, the blood on the hand, the radio, like there was things that happened that made me like, oh, okay, shoot. Okay, there's things happening. I will say this, and this is not a spoiler. They say it's 35-minute episodes, but the credits are 8 and 9
minutes. Credit was 5 minutes. Yeah. When the episode ended, I looked at the timer. I'm like, wait a minute. We're still at 6 minutes. Like, wait, there must be like an end credit scene. And then I scrolled my slider, and I'm like, no, credit. Oh shoot, we're done.
You know the funny thing was, so we were watching it, me and my girlfriend, and so she goes, okay, the end credits are done. Like, do we have to watch this? And I was like, yeah, there's gonna be like an end credit or something. And she goes, okay, we can fast forward. And I looked at her and I go, what? No. And then I had to go in my mind like, dude, we're not at a movie theater. We're at home. I could fast forward if I wanted. And I was like, oh shoot.
Right.
Yeah, but fast forward. You know what I mean?
Speaking of movie theaters, you know what actually got me pumped up? And it shows you how long it's been. When that episode 1 aired and you saw the beginning, you know, the Marvel
in the comics.
It's been so it just goes to show it's been so long since we've been to a movie theater or anything that I got pumped just to see that intro, just because it's like finally we're getting something.
Yeah, right. But see, the other thing, and that's the other thing too with this series, is you got to remember this wasn't Marvel's intention on how shit was going to be released, because it was already supposed to have been released, for one thing. For two, you were supposed to get Black Widow before this, and I think originally Falcon and Winter Soldier was slated to drop before WandaVision. And then it got pushed back, I think.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too to keep in mind, right? And I think this is where you know, again, me personally, I was upset about it. Maybe this is why I'm coming off with that disappointment in the first episode, especially, is, you know, we're watching this because we know, we've already been told, hey, WandaVision leads right into Doctor Strange and leads into mutants, right? So in my head, when I was watching these episodes, I'm looking for any clues of mutants, of what's, you know what I mean? And I didn't get that. I know there was Easter eggs. Some of the Easter eggs I didn't agree with. Some of them I agreed with, but none of them get you to a point of, you know, mutants, let's say, right?
Yeah, but you've got you've got several episodes left for them to bring in all these.
It's crazy because like later that afternoon, I don't remember when the episodes came out. I think it was like 3 a.m. Friday morning Eastern time. I didn't watch the show until about 7 or 8 p.m. later that afternoon. But at lunchtime, I checked on YouTube, and like there was like videos already out of like 300 or no, 300 is exaggerating. It was like 150 Easter eggs you missed in WandaVision. I'm like, so like,
but
how did I miss that?
You know what? To that point, I'm actually surprised that Disney took this direction, because what you've noticed with a lot of these Disney movies, they try to make it very accessible even for the casuals that don't follow the comics, right? This one, I felt that this is one of those cases where if you don't have that much of a comic knowledge going in, you'll probably be like WTF, like more so than, you know, the other people that watched it.
I don't know, because I mean, that's the thing. Like, we're sitting here talking about it, and we're fucking guys that get on this YouTube shit and talk about comics every week. So
Mm.
I feel like we should at least have a pretty decent knowledge, and we're still sitting here like, what the fuck?
But that's my point. Like we're saying that. So imagine the people that are watching this that don't really collect the comics, that don't actually.
Yeah.
They're in the same boat. They just don't have the attachment that you guys have to it. So they're not sitting there like, damn, I wish we would have got to see mutants and everything like that. They might be a little happier with it.
I think the only thing that I kind of put 2 and 2 together was this. Westworld or Westview. Like if you actually think so, Westview is where they live, right? She's from I always butcher where she's from. Sokovia. So that's supposedly in Europe. If you don't know, that is not an actual country or anything. Well,
thank you for that history.
So what I kind of took out of it was this is her, and again because it's got those like those sitcoms from the U.S. as well, right? So it's almost like she's living a West view, like the Western view of life, what it would be. Even though like the Avengers and all the movies took place in the States as well. I just think that that's one of the things that you guys should, that's another reason why I'm like, okay, maybe she's under the control or something, I don't know. Well, the last point I'll make is this. The first episode, this was me once the credits came up. What? The fuck was that? That was literally me once the first episode ended. I was like shocked. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Personally, I didn't hate it. I like it when I can't figure everything out right away. But I will say, like, one of the things that I do like about it is the way that they're going with the sitcom theme, because over the course of television history, sitcoms are what they are, but they've like increasingly, I guess, got a little darker, and they've increasingly dealt with drama, deeper themes and stuff like that, right? And it feels like that's kind of where Wanda's going to go with her mentality. Like this whole shit is just getting darker and darker through the course of time, and
so I don't know, it's going to be interesting. The second episode at the end, we'll get into our comic spec because we're already going at 2.5 hours here.
All right.
At the end, it gets colored, so it looks like we're getting a different decade. The house changed, the clothes changed, things like that. So she's also pregnant. So yeah, we'll see what's going on. I think it's going to be, it's in our nature to have our opinions. Do I hate it? No. Do I love it? No. I can't say either or because there's not enough information.
We need more episodes.
But I'm with Unix. I think this is one of those cases where I know that Marvel wants to push an episode weekly, just I think to kind of milk their cows to make sure that people are on that Disney Plus subscription. But I think this is a case where I think this show would have benefited had the episodes been given right from the get-go.
Yeah, but they're never going to do that because
they're not. Yeah. But I mean, in this case, I think it would have definitely helped the show.
If they've got 10 episodes, they've got you for 3 months for the most part.
Exactly.
All right. Wanda says there's going to be a Full House reference. Well, her sister.
Yeah, they're probably going to do a Full House episode.
I mean, she is one of the Olsen sisters.
Yeah.
All right. I would imagine there's going to be a whole episode to that one.
I've got more PowerPoint, so I'll let you go first on our spec stuff, okay?
Okay, let me just message the chat saying that the Wanda chat is done.
Yeah. I'll highlight it here.
For sure.
Yeah, and I don't like spoilers either, man, so
yeah.
I'm glad we did that. I think we did that the other day, too, with something else.
Yeah, we try to. I mean, I don't necessarily mind spoilers too much because I'm more invested in the story and how that shit ends up anyway.
All right, Hyper Combo Comics.
All right. So, yeah, sorry, guys, for the format. Some of these slides I literally had to kind of cobble together at the last minute, so it's not...
Where's the intro?
Woo! I know, I saw...
But where's the intro?
There might be an outro, but no intro, dude. I'll work on the intro.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
Damn, right, so, we got to get that.
So we kind of mentioned this earlier on when we were talking New Comic Book Day and how issue 113 is coming up. So, so I kind of wanted to mention how this might be an issue that we might want to pay a close attention to, especially now with TMNT getting hot. And a lot of people, especially with the Last Ronin being popular, people are going back on the ongoing series. I'll just mention the significance of this issue and why I think it has potential.
Just tell me if I get lead or not.
Okay, so
Yeah, you're probably safe picking up Lita.
yeah,
She's gonna be a thing.
so we see cover A, cover B, and then all the way to the right is that not so
Whatever
great
it is.
the 1 in 10. So I want to just draw your attention to that staff that Lita's holding. It's actually like what looks to be like the Time Scepter. That's actually because this is the adult version of Lita that's coming back to the past. That's coming back to the current timeline. So this Time Scepter has actually been in the TMNT, lineage going back to the 80s. Like if we go to the next slide. So I actually grabbed some of the preview pages for this issue. So you'll actually see this, the preview page on all the way to the left. You might not be able to see the word bubbles very clearly, but basically it's almost, there's a dialogue between Lita and this girl named Renee, who's actually in that middle comic TMNT 8, which came out in 1986. That's actually the first appearance of the Time Scepter. So essentially the Time Scepter is basically when someone wields it, they speak what location they want to go to, and then it takes them to that location. So from this panel, it's alluding to the fact that she has to go back in time to fix things because the turtles are in trouble in the future. So for that reason, there is some significance. Because people are wondering if this 113 if it's gonna be like a filler, or if how much of a place she's gonna be in the issue. It looks like she's gonna have a lot of airtime in this, and we're actually gonna get a full appearance, as opposed to her cameo, which came in issue 105, where she just came in one panel and that was it.
Right.
So the Time Scepter appeared in the Image series in 1986 in the middle book right there. And it appeared for the first time in 2014 in TMNT Annual. So if those might be books you may want to look into, because I already just picked up this book from my LCS, TMNT 8, if this whole storyline takes off, because the character Renee actually appeared way back, and then it looks like she's going to be appearing again in this issue. Yeah. And actually, fun fact, this Time Scepter was featured in the not so critically acclaimed TMNT number 3.
Greatest movie ever.
You know
Yeah,
what?
that's definitely on the top 10 list for sure.
Here's the thing. Maybe because I'm just that much of a TMNT fan, I did not hate this movie as much as a lot of people. I put this almost in the same vein as Guilty Pleasure, just like my Van Damme Street Fighter movies and my Mortal Kombat. So
Oh, you should have never admitted to that one.
it's just one of those things that I'll still watch here and there. But
I would watch Ninja Turtles, but Van Damme Street Fighter, hell no.
I have that on Blu-ray.
Why would you contribute to that?
I love Belgium Van Damme. That was actually, Belgium Kyle. Okay, one thing that I'm excited about this about this issue is, if you guys ever saw the movie Secret of the Ooze, you saw these two characters, Razor and Toka. They're actually making their first full appearance in the comic continuity. And this is actually, I took this from the preview panel, so it looks like they will be making a full appearance in this issue. They made a cameo back in issue 111, which I put the cover of.
Yeah, I remember seeing that book too.
Yeah, and yeah, these guys are fan favorites, and I'm actually surprised it took this long for them to actually appear in the comic continuity. Their first comic appearance was actually in the movie adaptation of TMNT 2, the comic book, but we don't really count those as much. But in terms of the actual IDW continuity, this will be the issue where they're actually featured the most. So yeah.
Yeah, it's actually kind of nice to finally get them.
Yeah.
Which one was the one with Vanilla Ice in it?
That's the
number
movie.
2.
Right? Yeah.
Go Ninja.
Yeah. So who are because what you'll notice is a lot of people wondering, in this cover, you're seeing the future versions of the turtles. You see the original turtles in the front with Jenica, and Alopex. So I'm just gonna run through the slides of who are these future turtles. Actually, before we go, that dude all the way in the back, I know people are wondering who it was. My feeling is I think that's Master Splinter. We know that he died.
I don't.
Oh yeah.
No,
I don't
because
think that's Splinter.
I think it's Splinter only because we know that he died in issue 100.
But he's
And
human, and who's running with the clan, or who's kind of
but
taking, who's jumped into Splinter's spot right now?
but here's the
Shredder.
thing though, when Splinter died in issue 100, when he went to the afterlife, he went back to his human form to get reunited with his lover, right?
Right,
I
but
feel
he's
that
dead.
yeah, but I feel that that dude in the back is more of a figurehead. I don't think that's actually someone in the flesh. Again, this is just me speculating, but
It'll be
I
interesting. We're gonna have to see.
yeah, but
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Shredder.
if it's
Yeah.
Shredder,
That's where I'm thinking actually.
okay, well, I mean, I guess we'll find out. But I don't know. I feel like it's
Yeah,
still.
it's gonna be interesting though.
But we can go to the next slide. I'm just gonna run through some of these. Who's in the Splinter clan? So the three weasels that you saw, Zinc, Mushroom, Xena. Because a lot of people are specking on Lita, but we know that they're going to be in the future Splinter clan. So I just kind of put up their first appearances. Issue 102 is when they actually first appeared. I put up the covers there, A, B, and the 1 in 10. And then their first cover appearance, because I know that sometimes people are all about the cover appearance. I put that up as well, which is issue 103, which comes they reissue right after. They're both in the A and the B cover, so they look like they still have a future in the TMNT lore. So
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna be a little bigger than
is
you know,
Uniax
like
actually which up 113 or this one 102? I'm not. I'm saying to pick up 113. Like I have several copies of 113 that I'm picking up. Yeah, so that's the three weasel. Alopex, she's actually she just got introduced into the Turtle clan in issue 105. Her first appearance goes back to the micro series in TMNT Raphael.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is a bit confusing, but you know, I'm trying to. That's why I'm giving visuals to kind of help you guys out. But she's a white fox that got introduced into the Turtle clan. Her first appearance was in Raphael micro series. We had the regular and the 1 in 10. The 1 in 10 I think sells for about $100 raw. And then her first cover appearance was in her own micro series called TMNT Turtles Villains Alopex. And there I put all the way to the right, the panel where she gets her own headband, the green headband. Yeah, and she's introduced in as part of the TMNT clan in issue 105, which is why another reason that issue has some significance, because it not only has the adult Lita, but it also has Alopex joining the clan. So that's that.
and that's one of the things with the current run of Ninja Turtles, and why it does tend to get more confusing is because IDW is obviously separate from, you know, the stuff that's come before, but like they've done with, you know, Transformers and GI Joe and everything like that, they're really trying to build the lore and to build a bigger franchise as a whole.
Yeah.
But and they've been doing it pretty successfully with great storytelling. It just sucks whenever you like start looking into some of these back issues, because all the different series make it hard to keep track of.
Yeah, it doesn't help that TMNT first came into Mirage, and then they had Dreamweave,
Right?
And then they had the Archie Adventure. So you have like 4 different TMNT series.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I mean, the fact that this series I think started in 2011, I'm hoping this continue. I really hope they're not going to reboot the series anytime soon, because they have a good thing going.
I don't think they're going to.
Yeah. So okay, so that's Alopex Nubial. Okay, so Jenica, I think most people, collectors that have been following Turtles recently, know this character because she was spec'd on like about a year or 2 years ago. She's like the first female turtle in the IDW continuity. Her first appearance is in TMNT 51, which I put up. That issue, that 1 in 10 ratio is pretty hard to find. The cover itself is already selling for like $80 to $100, I find, Canadian. So that 1 in 10, I'm sure it's going for a lot more. Then you have the other one,
Jenica is definitely a big thing.
issue 95. That's the one where she becomes a turtle. So I put cover A and B, and in the bottom I put the 1 in 10, as well as the second print. The second print is actually when you see her as a turtle in the van. But these, I mean, you could still find them relatively at a decent price. I think the regular covers are selling for about 30 to 40, and the 1 in 10 maybe is like $80. But I strongly have a strong belief on Jenica that she will play a prominent role. I mean, she already has her second volume in her own series with IDW, which is currently ongoing, right? Not ongoing, but it's currently going right now.
Right.
So yeah, that's Jenica.
Lita.
And Lita, the last one. So Lita is the turtle that people are recently specking on. Her first appearance was in issue 101. That 1 in 10 though, it's already going for about $400 or $500 at a 9.8 CGC.
Wow.
Yeah, that 1 in 10 is a monster.
Yeah, because also if you it might be hard to see with this image, but she's actually also on the cover, so it's technically also her first cover appearance for that one.
Sam, that was Venus. I know exactly what book what show you're talking about.
Well, also
Yeah.
the other thing is there was a TMNT issue that was called TMNT Adventures where they made April O'Neil a female turtle, but that was almost like a one-off. So
Right.
that never really counted.
Yeah, they kind of sort of fit into their own separate continuity, so I guess they sort of like don't really count with the new IDW stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like IDW has its own entity. I mean, there's what's confusing is there's certain things in the Mirage run and all that they do acknowledge, and then there's certain stuff that they don't.
Well, because the Mirage run, the original run of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was, more of a serious run, and then after that, after it moved to different publishers, you had different creative teams on them and everything like that. It seemed like it got a little less serious, and they just don't want to take it into account as much. But obviously, they're bringing over some characters like Toka and Razar, and
exactly. But I'm wondering if it's almost like the same confusion that some people have, like with Disney's reboot of the Star Wars universe, where there's
exactly
the Dark Horse stuff and then now the Disney stuff. I mean, I'm not really following it that closely, but I know that people have a bit of confusion with what's happening in Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, because you look at what's going on with Ahsoka Tano. She's a perfect example of it.
Exactly. They don't know if that Mace Windu 5 is going to hold because he's considered the first of the Disney continuity, right? So
yeah, and I think it'll hold some value, just like, the same thing as these. They'll hold some value. It's still not going to hold a candle to the first appearance of Ahsoka Tano, that Clone Wars.
The only thing is, to go back to Lita, the only question that, I kind of have is, which book do you go for? 101, which is when she first appeared, or 105 when it's her first future adult version?
I probably the 101. I mean, obviously that 110 on 101 if you can get it.
But okay, so here's the thing, because I have copies of both, so it's not like I have a stake in either one. But for me, I know that most people tend to go for the adult version of a character, but in this case, I feel 101 has a bit more legs, just because we know that character is going to be in it for the actual ongoing run, whereas this future version, from the future solicitations, it looks like she's going to be disappearing for a while.
Yeah, I think probably 101 I think would be the same, the safe one to look at as far as, the longevity of the character. 105, it's an interesting tidbit, and obviously what's going on here in 113. But ultimately, like you said, she's from the future, so she'll probably end up going back or whatever. You'll have the character that's in continuity now.
Yeah, it's almost like this is almost like their future state, so to speak, because it's like you're taking the future version of the character and then bringing them into the regular continuity kind of thing.
Right.
But just to give you an idea, I know that 105 raw average is about like $15-20, and the 1 in 10 for that is not as expensive as the 110 for 101. I think you can still find the 110 for the 105 at around $50-60. It's still high for a 110, but not nearly as high as the 101.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I just wanted to highlight some of these issues just because some people are curious about the Splinter Clan and all that and what issues to pick up, and some people like it's when you're doing back issue hunting, I kind of find looking at these books helps visually, so you know what you're grabbing. Because look, I think I told you this, newbie, that 101, I saw like a stack of like 6 or 7 of them at an LCS in a box, and no one grabbed them, so I just picked them up at cover price.
Good pickup. Yeah, good pickup.
Yeah. And a lot of times those Kevin Eastman B covers, people don't realize it's part of that same issue, because people usually, you see cover A and you don't really pay attention to the B cover because you think it's a different issue. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, great presentation, man. I'm like you.
Oh, we missed the outro.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
That outro.
There you
Okay,
go.
that'll be.
Man, I really appreciate you.
That was ghetto shit.
Man, I really appreciate the work and time you put into them. So
I know it's a bit convoluted. I know because.
Oh man, I'm trying to do that for my spec moving forward. So yeah.
I think it's awesome. I'm not trying to do that shit at all, but it's still dope.
Well, yeah, I appreciate. I mean, look. Yeah, I'll continue doing these, but yeah, it's just
like visual too. You know what I mean? Like it's just always nice to have that visual as well.
And that was my whole point, because sometimes I know that when I'm speaking, and then sometimes I think it helps me when I have a picture to put it with, so at least people can follow me along. While I'm, especially when you're talking about a series like TMNT where not a lot of people are that familiar with.
I agree. You're right. I will probably send newbies some pictures in the future.
Yeah,
but that's probably my limit with it.
We're actually going to be talking about some upcoming things on the channel and ways to make it a little nicer for everybody. Because I think the visuals help as well. So
definitely, I agree. Pictures are obviously a big thing.
That
I won't get into the whole PowerPoint, but I'll have pictures.
Face, you are up, sir, with your spec.
Well, I got a few books that I want to mention this week, just because, we did get WandaVision. So we're finally getting some Marvel stuff. And I wanted to touch on, one of the things that's going to be coming soon from Marvel that kind of maybe, I don't want to say it fell off the radar or anything like that, but it's definitely not as big right now. And that has to do with the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. There's been a lot of different reports of things that people have found in images that have been released from, them shooting the series and everything like that. So there's a couple books that I've been looking at that may come up or may be relevant in the long run MCU that might have its initial start in, Falcon and Winter Soldier. And the first ones that I wanted to touch on were actually, I'm sorry. Before I get into that, there was one other thing that I did want to mention. There's, as far as the sword books go in relation to WandaVision, there's 2 of them that came out that, introduced sword into the Marvel Universe. Astonishing X-Men number 3 and Astonishing X-Men number 6. Number 6 is actually the first appearance of Abigail Brand, and that's kind of the book that, like, you'd be looking at more as far as, like, sword becoming a thing. But anyway, back to Falcon and Winter Soldier. There's been reports that, there was a picture that came out that there was a jacket somebody was wearing that had an image on the back of it that was like the face mask of Ogun, a character that actually has a lot of ties to Wolverine. And it seems like
wait,
it's
from the original series, his first solo series, right?
No, they brought him in actually Kitty Pryde and Wolverine number 1 and 2.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's where he first showed up at, and he was kind of a mentor at one point to
right, yeah.
Wolverine. But like I said, there's been reports that image was shown on the jacket in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and while he was a mentor to Wolverine for a while, he did have his turn as a villain because, he went fucking crazy or whatever. So it looks like he's probably going to show up in that series as a villain. And that kind of makes some sense if it ties into some other things that they may do in Falcon and Winter Soldier. There's been reports that Madripoor, big mutant kind of like city, is going to play a part in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't know if that's actually true, and they're probably not going to, like, kind of like WandaVision, and you look at Sword, where in Marvel, in the comics, it's the Sentient Worlds Observation and Response Division, whereas in WandaVision, it's going to be the Sentient Weapon Observation and Response Division. It looks like Marvel's going to change stuff up a little bit. So they're probably going to do something similar to Madripoor, and it'll be more like just a seedy kind of city than more of like a seedy mutant city. But that first showed up in the city itself in New Mutants 32. That's where you first see Madripoor come into play, and it's become, a lot bigger thing in, Marvel Comics over the course of the years. Definitely a fairly big location. So then, with Ogun and Madripoor possibly showing up in, Falcon and Winter Soldier, it looks like they're going to start laying the seeds for the Weapon X program, and possibly into like Weapon Plus and everything like that. And I think there's been some early reports from it that's the intention, is to start touching on these things, not necessarily to dive into Wolverine so much, but to introduce the organization and have them kind of around before they do introduce Wolverine.
Man, I'm really hoping they don't drop. I hope Kevin Feige or anyone doesn't drop that name Madripoor, because as soon as someone hears Madripoor, the first character they're thinking of is Wolverine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I think I really think that's what they want you to kind of be going, is,
I think
especially like you just look at what they're talking about, and that where Newbie was just mentioning Storm showing up in Thor. Mutants are going to be a big push, and it's only a matter of time.
I just was thankful that we still had. I have time for my Hulk 181. So that's why as soon as Madripoor hits, I'm like, oh damn, I better make a move.
Yeah, it'll probably be
because
if Wolverine does show up again, that book will jump.
Oh yeah, it's going to be unreachable. It already feels a bit unreachable at the current price point. I mean, it's somewhat manageable, but I mean, if he ever gets, if there's any hint that he's coming, it doesn't even have to be explicitly by his name. Like I just mentioned with Face, if they say something like Weapon X, Madripoor, something like that, any of those keywords, there's already going to.
I will say this too. For those of you that may not be following the numbers game, the sales and things like that, I'm going to be the bearer of bad news today. So today, I mean, it was like they usually come out Saturday, Sunday, somewhere around there, I believe. Don't quote me on that. X-Men 1, Fantastic Four #1, they both saw record sales today. Same day. I mean, that could have been yesterday, that could have been Friday, but usually they give the report out every Saturday. Sunday's like the new week. Monday is technically the start of like the sale period or whatever. But yeah, so apparently both of those books have broken new records, whether that be because of these shows, whether it be because the shows just started, like you never know. But yeah, X-Men 1, Fantastic Four #1, both of them broke records. I think Fantastic Four no, don't quote. I don't want to give money numbers because I'll probably be off, but just know that both of those books hit an all-time high today. So
yeah, and those books weren't exactly that attainable to begin with.
No. So. You know what? There was a lot of people like
they're just going to keep going up.
I remember talking to Very Gary, and he even put out a video with Gem Mint, like I think it was like a year ago, maybe a few months ago, right? And they were saying, they're like, yeah, it's a crazy book, but I would pick up Fantastic Four #1. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, is that crazy?
But who has that much cash lying around that you could just?
But it's
a lot of soda cans you have to flip.
It's something, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know.
Right.
It's really crazy, but
no, but I get where they're coming from, because like there are certain books that. And I think, just as Azores mentioned, if you had any inkling of getting these books, it's almost like now is the best time, because after a certain point, you know that they're going to hit another stratosphere.
Right. I'm glad you highlighted that comment, newbie.
You guys know how
it.
polybags. Come
Yeah,
on.
because there's actually a lot of split thoughts on whether you should open polybagged comics or whatever. I actually prefer to open mine just because if you keep them in the polybag over time, it can cause damage to the issue. I tend to like try and cut it off, cut the top nice and neat, and I'll save the bag, but I'll put it in the bag and board with the comic
Because the
on
thing
like
is,
the back side of it. But yeah,
but Face, isn't it also even the polybags back in the day? They weren't exactly acid free, right? So don't they actually damage the print if you keep them too long?
Sometimes.
yeah. Some of the older ones definitely can. The newer ones, I think they've mostly gotten away from the bags with the more acidic bags, so it's not as likely that they'll hurt the print. But yeah, I still take them off just in case.
I've always taken them off on issues. I've seen way too many people get screwed by buying books that were in polybag and the seller being like, yeah, it's in perfect condition. And they just believed it because it's in the bag. You never know what
Right.
Unless the bag is see-through, yeah, you don't really, you're taking a chance.
Yeah. I felt so bad because Keys, he actually, when we went to send some books off to get graded, he brought his Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles' second appearance.
Right.
Oh, the Ultimate Comics, his first solo run.
Yeah. He actually had it in a poly bag. He bought it in a poly bag, and the guy had to open it up, obviously, to give him a grade, an idea of whether it was worth sending it off. And yeah, when we opened the poly bag, man, there was like lines and
Oh shoot.
Pretty bad. Yeah. So he's not like a press will do it, but I mean, it just goes to show you that you do have to open them up and do your due diligence.
I mean, yeah. I don't know how bad the book was damaged, but I mean that book still has its value raw, because it is.
And I told him that. I just press it and that's it. Because once Miles starts getting hot, I mean he already is hot, but once hot being we see him on a show, a video game, something like that comes up, that's the time to sell.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. I try and stay away from buying anything polybagged online because like when I grab it from the shop, I like to I guess like try and like run my hand over it and just feel if, in case the book is like really fucked up or something.
Yeah, because you could kind of feel the creases a bit to know if there's actual breaks or anything like that. Somewhat.
Yeah.
Face, what other spec do you have for us, brother?
Yeah. So back to what I was talking about with the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, and I think newbie, I think you'll like this because of where I think that they're going with it. Given that they're introducing Ogun and Madripoor, and that there's been talk of them getting to touch on the initial starts of like the Weapon X, Weapon H, Weapon Plus program, however they're going to do that.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about that, and one of the theories that we've talked about on our channel numerous times, is that we believe that Sinister is going to be a big part of the mutants coming and everything, and all of the stuff with the Weapon X, Weapon H, Weapon Plus program was based off of Sinister's initial notes, so it kind of makes sense that they would tie into all that. So I don't think I need to reaffirm the key that Sinister is.
I really think a lot of people are gonna it's gonna be one of those books that we're gonna hear people in the chat and just throughout our community being like, fuck, I should have picked that up.
I should have, yeah.
So many times. Why did I pick it up? Like
I actually just picked up another copy of it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, nice. I really do. That's a book. Yeah, I usually when I tell people to pick a book up, I mean take it for what it's worth. But if I'm telling people to pick a book up, I'm usually picking it up, and that's the only reason I feel comfortable telling other people to pick it up is because I'm picking it up. So
I still have my one copy. I'm still looking for another one at a decent price. But I'm just glad at least I have one for now.
Yeah. And
I actually found one that was it was a really good price, really nice copy too. So
JJ saying some dude is jacking the price off Sinister books, so people beware. He keeps price point every couple of weeks on his.
Yeah, he's right. There is some Sinister books that are listed on eBay that got some very weird prices.
you know, something that Manny actually, I think it was Manny or Decor, they actually brought light into my attention because I didn't really understand it. I didn't know it was, you know, it happened. But if I buy a book from Cooper on eBay and say, and he told me, he goes, you know, usually people just have like 2 accounts and they'll go in and buy it. So like, say I had 2 accounts, I would go in and I'll use Newbie and Hyper as my account. So I own both of the accounts, Newbie and Hyper. I go in on Hyper and buy something from Newbie, and I'll set Newbie price at like 1,000. So I'll buy it on my Hyper one for 1,000, even though copies are going for 400 to up the price. But just because it says sale and then we cancel it, eBay doesn't acknowledge the fact that the sale has been canceled. It just acknowledges that it's been a sale.
There's a term I forgot they were calling that, like market fixing or something like that.
Market manipulation.
Market manipulation. There you go. Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought when you canceled the sale, it just went back to saying no, but it actually still shows as a sale on eBay. It's crazy to me.
That's why.
Exactly. It does still show as a sold listing.
And also, just a tip for guys that are checking eBay on your phone: when you see sold prices, keep in mind that might not be the actual price. If there's a best offer accepted, you'll only notice that if you go on your PC and you go to the eBay browser, then you'll see that there's a best offer. So just because a price says sold at a certain price doesn't mean that's the actual amount that people paid on eBay.
Yeah, well, it's like a while back there was a sale of I think it was a 9.8 issues of previews, first, you know, previews that had that image of Miles Morales in it or whatever, and the sale was like something ridiculous, like $10,000 or whatever.
I saw
that. Somebody actually tracked down the guy that bought it, and it was just kind of weird because they did like a whole interview with the guy that bought it. You spent $10,000 on a fucking preview, and there's no comic book merchandise in your house. It just seemed kind of odd, you know what I mean? Like, it seemed like he might, the guy that they were interviewing, he might have had something to do with some kind of weird shit going on there.
It didn't pass the smell test.
Yeah. Who spends $10,000 on a preview has no comic book fucking merchandise displayed anywhere?
Big shout out to Doom, all the way from Hawaii. What's going on, brother?
What's up?
And yeah, JJ's saying that the same guy is doing the same thing for other books, Gambit and Carnage. So yeah, just be on the lookout, guys. But yeah,
did you see the price that JJW put in the comment? How much the guy was selling his Sinister for? It's like $425.
No, what was
$425.
Holy shit!
9.8.
Even at 9.8, I still think that's kind of high.
That's crazy, man. I remember
I can't even imagine what they're selling the fucking Gambit and Carnage for.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm waiting to sell mine.
God, what's the price on that Carnage if he's got that at $425?
That's crazy. All right, Face, let's finish off here. What do you got for Spec still? You got anything else, or is that it?
That's pretty much it, yeah.
No, and he said it was a 9.8. That was a $425 price.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that's American Newbie. So
dude, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I remember I passed up, I think
Jesus, Gambit is at $695.
I think in March, I actually bought a 9.6 for 110 or 15.
Carnage at $695.
I actually had the
$695.
What?
You said Carnage was $695.
Nah, bro, I like these prices. Fuck that. That's what the price is for Carnage now. I got it. So that's the price now.
Crazy. I remember, but going back to my Sinister book, I remember I returned it like a few weeks later, only to see it double. And then I just told myself I'm only going to buy raw copies of it. Mm-hmm. And I've been pretty successful. So I think I got like 4 or 5 copies, but I've given 2 away in giveaways, and I have my 1,500 sub giveaway that I'm giving 1 away too. So
yeah, and this is like one of those cases where I say that if you can find a clean copy raw, get it, because I think raws, you could probably vouch for this, they're probably selling for like $40-$50, I would assume.
Okay, hold on a second.
Right.
Spider-Man?
No, I posted that. That's the one I posted on Instagram here not too long. Yeah, that $2 million. That's fucking
it's
great.
Canada, man. I was like, what? He told me, he's like, do you know this guy? I'm like, no.
Yeah, I posted that shit. I was like, which one of y'all grabbing this shit?
All right, so I got 2 books to be on the lookout for. Guys, I will be honest with you. I was super busy this week, so I wasn't able to do my, every week information, just 2 books that really stand out. Then I will ask 1 question to everybody in the chat. I hope I'm able to get the right answer. Just something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna probably sound crazy. Then I got one announcement for our show on Tuesday, and then we'll be done. Okay, so we're almost done.
I'm curious about this question.
Right.
Yeah. So the
I know, right?
two books. I started looking into some stuff, but is West Coast Avengers number 61. Scarlet Witch is revealed to be like a Nexus being, supposedly. She's in all timelines and things like that. It's also a cameo appearance of Timekeepers. It is the origin of Immortus, who is also Kang. But it's just got a lot of those time and things like that. So I don't know. This book is probably anywhere between $2 and $7 Canadian. So it's very affordable. Again, is this going to be $1,000 book? I don't think so. I hope I'm wrong. This is one of those times I hope I'm wrong. But I've passed up this book a few times. Again, at the show with Kang, with things like that. This could be something that you buy for $3-4. You could maybe see a $20 to $25 investment, things like that. Any investment is a good investment, right? If you can make money up.
Yeah, because there's been bad investments.
Yeah. And then I think one book that a lot of people are sleeping on is Avengers 4, which is Kang's origin. Like I know.
Are you talking about the original run, Avengers 4?
No. It's like,
okay.
Yeah, newer. I know a lot of people, collect first appearance, second appearance. A lot of people do first appearance, first cover. The old school way to do it was origin or origin cameo, first appearance. I don't think this is a bad book to buy.
Origins are making a comeback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I picked up two copies for $3.50.
Damn, that's not bad at all. Nice little dollar bin find.
I mean, this is what you call like a low risk investment.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's the thing, right? Like sometimes, some weeks we have these books where it's like, hey, they're $100, but you might be able to make some coin. Right now, I'm going super, super low end, like to switch it up. But again, yeah, this is a book. I got two copies for that price.
And worst case, you're off $7.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is. When Kang shows up, which he's confirmed. I mean, it's gonna be something that's hot because he's gonna be in the mainstream. So you will be able to capitalize on him. So yeah, just keep that in mind. He's also not going to be one and done. He's not going to be beaten by Ant-Man multiple times. So
right.
All right. So that's it for Spec. Next week I will have more. I promise you guys. Usually I have like 4 or 5 books. Today is 2. We're also going on 3 hours and 15 minutes. Here's my question. Or actually, I'm going to say this first. I'm going to give us an announcement for Tuesday's show. So Tuesday, we're going to have a panel member who's not going to join us because he's selfish and has a birthday. For whatever reason, this panelist thinks his birthday is more important than putting out X-Men Spec out there for you guys. I'm just joking. I'm just playing, guys. Hyper will not be joining us on Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be our X-Men Spec show. So I have another panel member, another guest, another comic friend, I would say, and I hope he doesn't bail on me because we've been talking about it for a few days. So
really,
but I do have a very special guest joining us on Tuesday for X-Men Spec. X-Men Spec has not been done on our show. I've looked back and said, oh my God, even on our keep, sell, buy, on our Spec shows, we've never talked X-Men anything. So you're going to get it on Tuesday with a special guest. So hopefully blow it for me.
Oh, you're not going to tell who the special guest is?
No, I'm not going to tell him.
I mean,
okay.
If he bails, I'll definitely leave it wide open. Anybody can join, open door. We'll talk X-Men. But it could be me and Face. I don't know if Keys is going to be joining us. I'm hopeful.
So it's not Keys then. That's not the special guest.
No,
right.
So we scratched that off.
Yeah, but yeah, we're gonna have a fun show on Tuesday. It's gonna be our X-Men Spec again. A run that's huge, a lot of characters. So hopefully we can put out some good information there. My question to the chat, and I know if Jorge's here, if Universe X is here, I know what he's gonna say. but it's just something that was brought to my attention.
That's
With
not okay.
everybody in this generation, and you know what? You guys say your answers quick, and then we are out, okay? But special guest, Donnie Cates. No, man, he's not going to show up.
He don't want to come on the show with me.
My question to you guys is this, okay? If you had the opportunity to buy, let's say, let's put a number on it, $1,500 Canadian. I don't know what that is American. Maybe 900.
About $12.
I'll do the quick math right now because since
Would you invest in
$1,200
Fallout 4 or a Grail of a same value like Silver Age? Would you put your money in silver, or would you take a risk on Miles, as everyone is saying, for a long time now, probably the whole year, Amazing Fantasy 15, this is the next Amazing Fantasy 15.
So 1,500 Canadian is about 1,200 US.
So 1,200 US. Would you spend that money on?
Damn, that's what I said.
Yeah, you did.
Or would you spend on a Grail, like a Silver Age Grail, for the same price? I just want to know what everybody's opinion is on that, because they were talking about that on East versus West, and I was just thinking, you know what? Like, there's so many angles you can approach this at, right? Because there is no right or wrong answer, and that's what I love.
It kind of is.
Well, it depends, though. It depends what angle you're looking at it, though. Right?
No. Okay. So here's the thing.
Because sorry, but let's just make it more clear. Like, for me, I think everyone knows I've kind of been hanging on ASM 300, ASM 129, and then I thought, okay, well, wait a minute, like, should I get Miles? Maybe, like, I don't. I mean, obviously, it's the cheaper of the two and things. But then I was like, wait a minute. What?
Well, okay. So, but here's the thing, though. Like, you're looking at any of those books. What ultimately is your goal with it? Is this a book that you're purchasing for the intent of adding to your PC and never getting rid of?
Keep.
Okay. So then it just comes down to which characters mean more to you.
But
what is your preference? Because you're not planning on getting rid of this book anyway. And the thing is, I know everybody says, oh, invest your money in silver and, whatever. But I hate that saying, because you're not investing money in Silver Age books. Silver Age books are not a fucking investment. They're a savings account. They've already got astronomical prices if you're buying them. The prices that you're going to get on them, yeah, some of them will go up, some and down, but it's not going to be astronomical amounts.
Well,
and the thing is,
the only caveat to that is when those option news come out for those characters, because we've seen
you get spikes in them, but even then, there's still not huge spikes on Silver Age books because they're already astronomical in price. Miles is up there pretty high too for a modern. So even when you get stuff like, yeah, you'll see it rise in price, but I mean, those huge astronomical spikes that it's had, I don't think you're going to get as many big spikes as Miles has had in the past. You'll still see them go up, but I don't think it'll be as astronomical as it has been. So it kind of falls in line with those Silver Age books too. And then it just comes down to which character means the most to you. Which one do you want to add to your collection?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it with Miles is there's a lot of future projection that's being done with this character.
Yeah. I think the Miles one would be definitely an investment, though, for me. But here's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to go wrong with any of them.
Yeah.
Venom's not losing money. Punisher, Wolverine, Miles.
Here's the thing that I don't know if I like double guess it, right? But like, perfect example, right? I believe in buy what you want. It's just, I think it's just the value of the money. So that's why I kind of have these like second thoughts where I'm like, oh my God. And Hyper, you know what I'm talking about, because we've had these conversations where, like, making an investment like that is big, right? Especially in these times where there's all that uncertainty. But here's the thing. When I see, like, I got my Iron Man book, I got my Nihilist book, 5.5, 5.0, like, those are some grails for me. I got them. But when I see like a 6.0 CGI ASM 300, it doesn't do me any good. Like, I just look at it and I'm like, like, I want it to be higher, even though it is a grail. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily a modern book or anything, but it's pretty modern. So
yeah. It's like what, 93, 92?
Which one? The SM300?
Yeah,
No, that's like 88 or 89.
Yeah, 80. I think 89 or something
I was
like that.
close. I was close.
But I mean, still, it's still not that old. I think I would like it in a higher number than like a 60, something like that. I probably wouldn't want to go like for me personally. I don't think I would want to go like less than an 8.5 on that one if I'd even go that low.
Yeah, so I don't know. A 9.6 Ultimate Fallout 4. I can't afford this book. The 1 in 25 is just ridiculous.
The 1 in 25, yeah, forget about it. I mean,
The only things that hurt Ultimate Fallout as far as like actually being an investment and going up in price still pretty good is just the fact that there was a lot of copies out there initially, and there's a lot of hoarders of it out there. You know, there's people that have multiple copies of that issue. And, you know, every time that you see spikes in how many copies of that book hit the fucking market too.
Yeah, you wanted a 9.6. Yeah, it's true.
But honestly, like a 9.6 ASM 300 maybe 2 years ago is a lot more attainable than it is right now for most people.
Dude, in June.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was gonna buy it for my birthday in June. ASM 300, a 9.2, and it was $800 Canadian. Okay, and now 9.4 is almost $1,200. 8 months later, it's already gone up almost $400 or $500.
Even like, and this affects all the grades throughout. Like I think I mentioned, I paid $300 something odd for my raw copy, and I would say I would venture that copy is probably almost like VF condition, so 7.0-ish or so.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I was having, I guess you could say, buyer's remorse because that was like my first ever key that I bought. But that 365 for you couldn't buy a 7.0 or 8.0 for 365 at this point.
No, not at all.
For me, Miles, I'll be honest, it would be an investment book where, you know, they made a few good points on East versus West, where they said, you know, like, and even if you bought that book now, like you could sell it when he hits and you could buy those grails. And I'm thinking, yeah,
that's the thing. The Silver Age books don't necessarily have as much of a chance of doing that. I don't think you're going to get as big a spikes with Miles, but I still think he's got potential in the future. Once he gets a movie or whatever, like you'll still see a nice jump.
Because especially with these Silver Age characters, like Face mentioned before, a lot of them have kind of plateaued in their value. Like, put it this way, AF-15, you're not gonna see any spikes with amazing. That's a very extreme example because it's one of the more expensive. But just to show you guys, like, there's no further Spider-Man news that can really push that book even further than what it is right now. If anything, that book might actually get some dips, but you're not gonna see like huge spikes for that book. So a lot of the books that predate modern eras have kind of plateaued in terms of their potential, I guess you could say. It'll be incremental, like Face mentioned. It'll be almost like you're putting your money into a savings account where,
right.
Where's Tiger? You are absolutely right. And there's 3 books I am waiting for them to blow. Eternals 1, ASM 361, and Uncanny X-Men 366.
Well, you don't have long on that 361.
I think that 361 is probably the one that you might have a earlier spike than the other 2.
Yeah, and those 3 books are ones that I'm holding on to. And Avengers Annual 10. I'm holding on to those books in order for them. As soon as they spike, it's going into like my Grail fund. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
I'd be on you about that 361 if I didn't have it already.
and
Spider-Man, and you can add a couple G's to that.
We've had this discussion also, Newbie, where we were like, you know, if you had a G, would you spend it on a high grade like key, or would you settle for a lower grade, 2 copies of 2 different keys?
Can you say it again? Sorry.
Like let's say, like, you know, you posed the question, like, if you had 1,200, would you spend on a key? My question is, would you go for that higher end, let's say Silver Age key, or would you settle for a lower grade copy so you could get at least 2 keys for that, you know, same price? That's kind of,
I think it depends on the keys that you want.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, because like for me, I kind of like to add to my collection, and I don't want to, this is just me, I don't want to put all my funds into one book when I feel like I could get like maybe 2 or 3 books of that means something to me.
Yeah.
Right.
JJ, I'm just wait. My rule of thumb is always just wait for a trailer or an image. We've yet to see Carnage in a trailer. We've yet to see the Venom.
Yeah, they only gave us that. They only gave us that little snippet, that end credits with Woody Harrelson as Cletus.
So
Whenever the trailer drops with him playing Carnage,
just
that
that
should be
image.
when that book.
And it'll
That's
just
all you
be
need.
his eyes or just that laugh that he does. I think it'll make it spike again, and that's probably where I'm holding on to selling it. Probably around there. Same with Eternals. Same with Rogue and Gambit. I mean, I think Gambit is a more long-term spec. But since I bought the book, I mean, even if I sold it now, I'm making like 220, 240 profit on the book. So
That's not bad.
yeah, Sam, I hope you're right.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Is there even going to be a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. Maybe I should have started that question or saved it for another show. But yeah, definitely appreciate you guys talking about it. It's always interesting to get that Silver Age versus Modern. And when people start talking about that Miles book being the next Amazing Fantasy 15, it's always nice to get into these conversations. Some people say it's arguments or disputes. I consider all of them good conversations.
Right.
Thank you for that. Thank you for your input. And yeah, guys, like I said, we'll be back on it on Tuesday. The information for Face and Hyper is in the description below, so make sure you guys go sub, follow.
Oh shit, we are getting professional.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Damn. I'm gonna have to step my game up.
I take care, man. So yeah, so make sure you guys go sub and check them out. And yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday. X-Men Spec with a special guest. If my special guest doesn't show up, I'll have somebody else. All right. So tune in on Tuesday.
All right, guys.
Later.
Peace.
Peace.